Yes, hello, welcome to Crafters TV, brought to you by Crafters Companion. My name's George Akid. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Can you believe it? Already we are at the end of the weekend, end of the week. The weekend is just around the corner, and it does mean that on a Friday we get our soft craft on. And well, you know, there's so much to be so excited for this show. Brand new launches within our soft crafting, and we have got one of the best people in the business, and she is here today, all excited, getting herself ready like a boomerang. She's come on back to us. It's the wonderful Becky Sworn. Hello, Becky.
Hello. You're being so nice to me this morning, or this afternoon.
I'm always nice to you.
Yeah.
Becky, what have we got coming up for today?
We've got these beautiful key rings that we're going to be showing you how to make. So these are a new design of some little felted key rings. So you've got a bear, a butterfly, a rabbit, and a fox. They're really lovely, fantastic little thing for a new craft to do. And we've also got our builder block of the week as well. So plenty to keep you occupied this afternoon.
There we are. See, they are fluttering around, little butterflies. Look a little bit like this. Very exciting. Loads of love. There's your little rabbit. There's your little butterfly. You've also got your big bear. Love this. And you've also got your little fox. Question, Becky.
Yes.
What does the fox say?
Something like that.
Perfect. Perfect. Loads coming up for you. Now listen, while you're on the website, crafterscompanion.com.co.uk.eu is our spring sale, 70% off on select items. Those wonderful sunset ribbons that I showed you earlier. Can't believe it, near enough 50% of the stock has gone on them. Head to the website, spring sale. Whilst you're there, it's also National Craft Month, and we've got a great deal for you. Celebrating at the moment National Craft Month, 3 for 2 on selected Spectrum Noir items. Loads of you excited about those. Head to the website. And Totally Tiffany's 19th birthday. Loads of great deals ahead of the weekend celebrations. Someone who's in the studio today who you are so excited about. I was excited about when they were coming into the studio. I know that you guys are excited. Visible Image are in the studio, which means the wonderful Mark's here. Good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon.
How are you, mate? How are you?
You're losing your voice there.
Honestly, it's been a nightmare. So, Mark, who are Visible Image and what have you got coming up for us?
Husband and wife team, Mark and Helen.
Perfect.
We're from South Wales. The sunny side of South Wales.
Lovely. And you've got, I mean, this brand new Alice in Wonderland collection is just, this is what puts Visible Image ahead of the game. What have you got? I mean, look at Alice there.
Oh, we've got some amazing, we've got stamps, we've got dies, we've got some stencils as well. Have a look at these gorgeous samples we've got here from our design team. Look at these.
These are brilliant. That's the Cheshire Cat. Got the Mad
Hatter. Fantastic, aren't they?
Just love them. They are so good. Honestly, Georgina and George, you are going to get so much fun watching this later on today. I promise you. I mean, the caterpillar's having a great time. A great collection. John walked in front of the camera. John, what you like, naughty John?
Look at the Queen there.
There we are, look at that. And Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I adore these. So much love. Mark, you'll be joining us a little bit later in about an hour's time.
Sure.
Thank you very much, my good man. So many demos, good plan with the wonderful Mark. He'll be joined by Joe in about an hour's time. Joe's going to be here with us. Yes, you are safe to walk, John. Joe's going to be joining us in about an hour's time, taking you through the rest of your day. Don't forget as well, we've also got coming up for you at 6 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Joe and the wonderful Lily are going to be here with your masterclass. It's going to be a great show. Create a card masterclass. It's going to be good. Soft Aside Life. Every Friday we get our soft craft on, and this week, I mean, what a great deal this is. Your junior shape creator with cutting mat and that free 45 millimeter rotary cutter. That would be one big rotary cutter. You're paying for the mat, you're paying for the wonderful shape creator, you're getting the rotary cutter absolutely free. Essential to get you started on your soft crafting. £55.98, $59.90. Great deal for you. I am absolutely fine. People keep saying, I feel fantastic. I've just got no voice. Great deal for you on the plain fabrics. It's not this often. They usually sell when they run out. Perfect for your patchworks, perfect for whatever your soft crafting object that is. Starting off some great colours, 1/2 metre, 100% cotton, starting off with your wonderful coral. You've got your Merlot. You've got your powder pink. emerald, glorious green, grass green, deep ocean, ocean waves, sea foam. You've got hot pink. You've got your wonderful flamingo pink, ballerina pink, navy, brilliant blue, that is so good, sky blue, and black as well. £4.99, $6.25. Get them while they can. Your Club Inspire price available on all of those at £3.99, $5, which is incredible. You've also got your great Builder Block of the Week. Do you want to sing your song, Becky?
Builder Block of the Week.
There it is for you. The Builder Block. That was beautiful. She's available for bookings. The Builder Block 20-piece alphabet and number collection. You can make everything that you can possibly make with these wonderful stencils, dies in here. There's only 20 different dies, but the combinations allow you to make as many letters as you wish. 50% saving for you on this. $34.99, $44.97, Club Inspire price, $27.99, $35.98. A huge saving on your Builder Block of the Week. But today is all about our brand new launch. Those brand new keyrings which you're going crazy for today at 10% off on this brand new collection, which you guys are absolutely loving. You can buy them individually. However, the best deal and the best value is if you go for that full bundle. Today, you're the fox, the butterfly, the bear, and the rabbit. Loads of people saying hello. Loads of people saying hello to us today. Shaida, hi George and Becky, good morning from beautiful Ottawa, Canada. Jacqueline from Austin, Texas, and Thea from the Netherlands. Good afternoon to all of you, or good morning. So, if you've got any questions, get involved. Never been easier. Maybe you are brand new to crafting. Maybe you're brand new to soft crafting. Becky, who are these brand new collection? Who are these going to be perfect for?
They're really going to be great for somebody that's just starting to sew, and because everything's self-contained, we've already sort of die cut the little felt shapes in order for you to make these key rings, and everything's in there, including the embroidery thread, the needle, the stuffing, all of the embellishments. So these are a really good. I personally like to do a bit of crafting when I go on holiday. It's a bit weird. Most people read books and lie in the sun, but I tend to like to make something, and I quite like the fact that these are all contained in a little box, and so I could create something. So they would be really good because you'd be sitting on you don't need a lot of equipment, you don't need loads of space, you can just do these entirely on your lap, and they're absolutely beautiful. So this is the little bear one that we've got here. So you can see they're all quite large. I mean, they're sort of bigger than I thought when I saw the packaging. I mean, if I put my fists there, you can see that they're sort of the size of my hands. They're quite sort of quite meaty, I would say. So you've got your little rabbit, which would be. Pardon?
Your hands.
Well, you know what I mean. The key rings are quite meaty. They're quite big. They're not. You're not getting something really tiny. You know, you're getting something quite substantial, I suppose, is a better term rather than saying meaty. But obviously, this little rabbit is great for. We've got Easter coming up, but these are going to be brilliant for all sorts of different things. And I think we were saying in the earlier show how great if you're going to be giving someone an Easter gift and you don't want to give them lots of chocolate or you don't want to give them any chocolate, you can make one of these and give them to them, or give them the kit. Buying them as the collection offers such a really good value. It's well worth doing, and it's key to remember. Key ring, thinking about that you've got all of the embellishments in there as well. You've got the sequins, you've got little beads in there, so you're going to be able to really sort of go to town and make these look really beautiful. So I'll show you how to put them together. They're very, very simple. So if I show you initially what you're going to get in a box first of all. So this little one is the fox. Because I thought the fox was such a lovely shape, really, really pretty. So I'll show you what you're going to get inside your box. You're going to receive your little instruction booklet, which shows you how everything goes together. So it shows you how you put all the different pieces of felt on top of each other and how to stitch, or where the stitching would go. If you want to follow the exact sort of instructions, you can definitely do that, or you can just sort of be a bit sort of freestyle with it. But on the back, we've also included details about embroidery stitches. So if you've never embroidered before, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to do this with this kit. Now these kits are not quick. They're not a fast, I'm going to make that in 5 minutes kind of craft. Embroidery, for anybody that's never done it before, is quite a slow craft because you want to be precise, but you get some really, really beautiful examples after, you've put that all together. So you're going to be getting that. You're going to be getting your animal stuffing. You're going to be getting your needle. You're getting your felt pieces. You'll get your embellishments. You'll get your embroidery thread in the colours that work with that particular animal.
Yeah.
You get a little piece of ribbon on there, so that acts as the little, sort of little tab that you're going to pop your hanger. Yeah, your hanger where you're going to put your little clip on top of. So you're going to get your clip and your ring to attach it to your keys, and you'll also get your little template. So this is what you're going to be using for marking out onto your felt animal where you're going to sew. So I'll start by showing you how to do that. So obviously you can use these templates again and again, and we always like to give you too much of something, so we're going to give you too much thread. So you'll be able to make, if you've got some of our felt bundles that we have, you could always buy one of those, and you could make lots of these in different colours, different shapes, and you'd have enough embroidery thread to make another one or two, I would have said. So if I show you what this looks like, so I'm going to take the main body of my little fox, and then you layer up your different parts of your fox on top. Now this is a time that you would generally use your textile glue, your felt glue, just to stick everything together. But I'm just going to sort of show you how it all comes together by putting it all like so. But that one goes the other way, I think, like that. There you go. So you've got the sort of fox with his tail sort of swirling around here.
See, yeah, okay.
So you can see straight away, it's really beginning to look like a fox, isn't it? And you do have a little tiny black nose that you can pop here as well, and then a little flower. If you can put the little flower at the top of his head, like so. So when you're happy with where everything is and you've sort of glued it down, that's when you'll pop your stencil over the top, and then you just mark with your pen where you're going to be using your stitching lines. So this is my heat erasable pen. So I'd mark along here, and this just offers you a place so you know where you're going to be doing your embroidery stitches, or where you're going to be putting your beads. And so I'd have to use a black one for that other part here. So you can use all sorts of embroidery stitches. So this is not machine embroidery. This is some hand embroidery that you're going to be doing on here, which is why I said it's a really good sort of kind of slow craft. So I come up here on the train. So this would be perfect for me to do as a little activity on the train. It's just something to keep me occupied. Otherwise, I'd just be watching some kind of film or TV show.
Like Bridgerton.
Like Bridgerton, yeah. We're going to keep on going back to Bridgerton because I haven't watched today's episode yet. I'm very excited. I'll be watching that on the train on my way home. So you can see here we've got all those little markings here. Then after you do that, you'll take your embroidery thread. So with your embroidery thread, if I open up this piece here, if you've never used embroidery thread before, you'll see that embroidery thread actually comes in 6 strands. Let's probably use one of these, is better. So you get 6 strands in one of these, and the piece is quite long. Now, a key thing to remember with embroidery is you should never have your piece of embroidery thread longer than from your fingers to your elbow.
Okay.
Otherwise, it just gets tangled up. So that's pretty much sort of half of the piece of thread that we're going to be giving you. And then when you do your embroidery, it will say on your details whether you should, how many strands you should use. Generally speaking, it's 2 strands, and that's what we say to use here. So you just need to pull apart at the very end and find 2 strands. So you'll see you've got 6 strands here. Just need to find 2. You pull them apart. And then this piece here, this one with the 2 strands, is the thing that you'll be stitching with. And that's the same piece that I've used with all of these. So that's why it's really, we're telling you, we're giving you lots of thread. You've got plenty here.
I would have sat there and threaded that entire thing.
Yeah, that would have been a challenge. because it's so thick. So generally speaking, sometimes when you embroider, you might be told to use 3. You very rarely get told to use 1 strand because it's just not strong enough. But 2 strands is generally the good rule of thumb as to how many strands you need for stitching.
Well, knock me down with a feather.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
I know, a lot of people have gone great tip. I never knew that.
So I've started stitching. I've almost finished stitching him here, and I've put some little beads and sort of decorations. So I've not followed exactly the same sort of design as a template, but I've sort of made it my own, and that's one of the things that you obviously can do. Now, in the instructions, it tells you about just working on one side of the animal. Obviously, with the this particular one, you only get sort of one face and one sort of tail part. But with the other one, like the rabbit, you could always use both sides and stitch on both sides and decorate it however you want to. And obviously you could use the other bits and pieces you may have in your stash. You may have some fantastic sort of beads and that kind of thing that you want to use. So you can definitely use all of those.
Yeah.
Now, once you've sort of embroidered around your front part of your fox, you want to put the back part together and you want to stitch around the outside, so you make it into a whole animal because you're going to stuff that. So I'm just going to show you what I've been stitching around the back. So I'm not using blanket stitch, I'm just using running stitch, and I've just gone round the outside.
Yeah.
And I stitched all the way around here.
Lovely.
And then I've left a little gap down here, and I'm going to use some of my stuffing to make sure that I sort of stuff my animal. Now, don't use too much stuffing because then it becomes quite difficult for you to sew the little gap up. But again, you're going to get too much of this stuffing, so you just need to sort of pull it apart a little bit to make it nice and fluffy. And you just use small pieces and you use those to stuff inside your little animals to fill them up. So, you know, we've said here on the instructions that we recommend it for children over the age of 14. That's because you're using a sort of a sharp needle. But obviously, if you've got a child in the family that's used to sewing, this is a lovely activity for somebody to do. And I like the idea of having those kind of little trees, those little kind of twig trees in your house as decorations. And you can have all sorts of different things on there. The fox would be quite a good one for any time of the year, but particularly kind of autumnal, isn't it? Having those little animals hanging up, rabbits as well for Easter, that kind of thing like that.
I love
so
this.
I'm just going to use the pen just to sort of push the stuffing.
And you couldn't put these in the washing machine, could you?
No, I wouldn't. A felt in the washing machine is always a bit of no, I wouldn't risk it. And you've got lots of sort of sequins and things like that on there. I think if you did get it mucky, I'd sort of sponge it off, but hopefully they wouldn't get too mucky.
You don't
I
want to
don't
put it in
know.
the washing machine, do you? Get you damage.
Pardon?
You damage them if you put it in the washing machine.
Yeah, they would. And, you know, the beads are bound to come off if you put it in the washing machine. So I put a little bit more of the stuffing in. So you can see how that's beginning to look now. And then I'm just going to sew around the rest of the little animal to finish it off. And then it's all ready to be used. So I'd already sewn a piece of ribbon. So you just get your piece of ribbon with your little hook or little hoop, and you just sort of sandwich it in between those two pieces. So as you're stitching around the outside, they'll be secured. Now you can stitch around the outside using blanket stitch, which is very easy to do, and we've got the instructions in the manual as to how to do that, or you can just use running stitch around the outside. Now, as I said, these aren't a quick craft. They do take a little bit of time, but it's a really lovely way of spending an afternoon putting them together, and you can make all sorts of different designs with the embroidery threads that we've given you, and definitely utilise the instruction manual that we've given you with all the different embroidery stitches you could possibly use to decorate it.
Absolutely, great collection which you are loving today. Irina is saying, beautiful Becky, they really are. And Sherry has said, hello again. I was watching a past Crafts Companion presentation and I lost the track of time. Well, listen, we won't hold it against you. You're here now. That's the main thing. Let's have a look at the 4 wonderful animals that you're getting. You're going to be getting the fox as well today. And you saw Becky using there, that beautiful little fox. That's Steve, the fox. He's great. You've got Andrew the bear.
Andrew? Why Andrew the bear?
Because that's a bear name. You've got Patricia the butterfly. There she is. There
You're
she
nuts,
is.
you know.
You are?
You're nuts.
Good. You got your little rabbit as well. Rabbit's called,
Archibald.
that's a stupid name for a rabbit.
Stop.
Archibald.
Archibald. Yeah.
I was thinking more like Maximilian.
Maximilian the rabbit.
There he is for you. Again, a great collection. I mean, like you said, put these on your trees, bags, whatever you may want to do. Loving those names, says the wonderful Rachel on the social. Angela on Facebook. I like making little felt stuffies when sitting in waiting rooms. My girls love to make them as birthday presents for school friends. Great idea. Cheap as well, in the sense that you're £25, $31.95. Look at what you're getting for that brilliant price. Affordable. Right. Save a Stitch. Every Friday, we have a look at our wonderful collections within our Save a Stitch and give you some great deals within your soft crafting. Starting off, first of all, with your quilting guide and your patterned gloves. A brilliant price, 20% saving. At that price, you're getting the quilting gloves absolutely free. £24.99, $29.95. Becky, when would you use this quilting guide and when would you use these gloves, apart from if you wanted to be Michael Jackson?
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, you could definitely use them for those, but they give you a bit of grip when you're quilting. So if you've ever tried to do some quilting using your machine, it's quite difficult to keep hold of the fabric because you drop the feed dogs, which are those little pieces at the bottom of the machine that hold onto the fabric. And because you don't have that, because you're going to be moving it around, quilting gloves are really, really useful. I mean, even if you're just doing ordinary quilting and you're keeping your feed dogs up, it stops your fabric from getting mucky if your hands aren't super, super clean, and it just gives you that added little piece of grip, and they really do make a difference. I was quilting something last week and I didn't bother looking for my quilting gloves, and I really regretted it because I had to throw the thing away because it just didn't work. I'd slipped when I was using it. So they're definitely worth having. And also if you are like me and you like a little snack while you're crafting, they're going to keep your quilting nice and clean, because you won't have chocolate biscuit smears all over your quilting. Not that I do that.
Someone's lying. Again, a great price there for you. 20% off, you get those gloves absolutely free. The fabric coat and the fabric stabiliser. Now, I've never seen this before. £18, $27, saving yourself 30%. £14, $21.60 on your Club Inspire. Becky, when would you use these?
The fabric stabiliser, if you've watched one of Sarah's videos, she was making, at Halloween, she was making little sort of ghost shapes. So it makes everything sort of quite rigid. It's a little bit like a kind of spray starch. So it's really good if you're going to be making something where you need the fabric to be quite thick or quite strong. It's also very good if you've got some fabric and you want to use it for paper crafting. You put some fabric stabiliser on there, let it dry, and then you'll be able to use it almost like it's paper. So that's another way of being able to use it, not just in a normal kind of everyday sewing type of thing.
They make ghosts.
Yeah, make ghosts. Yeah, why not?
Absolutely. Another great collection for you today with your rotary cutter and replacement blades. This is the 60mm one. We've talked about the 45. So this price today, £22.50, $35.36. You already get 2 blades within the pack, and then we're giving you an extra 2 blades as well. £18 Club Inspire, $28.77. So, Becky, when would we want our 60mm cutting blades, and when would you want our 45?
Particularly good if you're going to be cutting sort of lots of big things on the straight. So if you're cutting sort of squares or strips, that's when you sort of want to use your bigger rotary cutters. If you're going to do lots of curves and cut around different edges, you want to make it slightly smaller. But it's entirely up to you. Some people really like using a very big rotary cutter for all sorts of things, and other people the other way around. I tend to use a very small one more often because I'm doing quite tiny things. But if I'm cutting something large, or if I'm cutting fat quarters up, for example, I would definitely use the 60mm.
Brilliant price for that on today at £22.50, $35.96, a 35% saving. Your embroidery kits, you're buying one, you're getting one for free with your 2 different designs, £12.99, $16.95. You've got 2 great collections here. brilliant price. Dream Big and the Dream Catcher. Again, Becky, perfect for our younger crafters.
Yeah, and you've got everything in there, including the wooden hoops as well. So you could, once you've finished using, doing the embroidery and using that wooden hoop, as we've done in the sort of packaging, you can see that they've actually framed the finished item within that hoop. So yeah, fantastic if you want to give those as a gift to somebody just getting started with embroidery.
Absolutely great price for you. And last but not least, within your Save Stitch, if you want to see its full collection, head to the website. Your monogram frame stencils, £6.50, $10, a 70% saving. This is incredible. Look at that Club Inspire price, £5.20, $8, should I say. You've got two great designs here, the ornate wreath and the vine and arrow frames. Two great collections. So how would you use these, Becky? Draw and then hand stitch?
Yeah, or you could use fabric paint, and you could have a piece of plain cotton, and you could put your stencil over the top, and you could then sort of just stencil through that with fabric paint and then finish it off. There's all sorts of different things you can do with that. And I really liked those ideas with those little sort of almost like laurel wreaths that they had with your initials. They'd look great on a bag. You could use that as a bit of an example for a bag, or you could even sort of mark that out and use it as template for doing some quilting on there. There's lots of different uses you could use those for.
Absolutely, loads of great deals for you on your Save Stitch. Head to the website craftscompanion.com.co.uk, click Shop the Show, and you'll see that amazing deal for you. Loads coming up for you today on today's show. Loads of you loving those keyrings, the wonderful Jenny. These are so adorable, the keyrings, they are brilliant. We're going to take another close look at our wonderful saving deal of the week. Cue the theme tune. Cue the theme tune.
So I haven't got a theme tune for that.
Saving deal of the week.
I haven't got a theme tune for that.
Think of a theme tune then. A brilliant price for you. You're paying for the Junior Shade Creator, you're paying for the cutting mat, and you're getting that 45mm rotary cutter absolutely free, which is incredible. £55.98, $59.90. Here in the UK, you're saving yourself over 25%, and over on the States, about 30%. Club Inspire price applicable to this at £44.78. $47.92. Becky, again, what a brilliant collection this is.
It is, and this I use quite a lot. I think it's really, really useful. It's a fairly innocent looking piece of equipment, this shape creator, but there's so many things you can do with it. I love the fact that quite often we print instructions on the actual item. I think it's really useful because you lose packaging, don't you? You might not be able to look at a video to find out how to use something. So we've got all of the information down the side about the bits and pieces you could do. So you can cut squares, you can cut strips, you can cut triangles, diamonds, hexagons, and also circles on here, just by sort of following the instructions and lining everything up. So if I show you, for example, I'm going to cut a couple of strips here. So you've got these little diamonds at the top and the bottom, and these are sort of cut out, and you've got a groove that's being cut through the acrylic here, and that's where your rotary cutter is going to go. So it's going to start in these little sort of diamonds here, move its way up like so. So you can see all these different measurements or these different lines on there, and that's you use these different lines depending on what you want to cut out. So if I pop it back onto my cutting mat, you might not be able to see quite so clearly, but if I take my piece of fabric and I'm just going to fold it in half, and I'm going to place it underneath here, and I will line it up. Let's just line it up there. Now I'm going to put my fabric underneath with my fabric, the shape creator over the top. And I just want to cut a couple of strips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the first part, this sort of rough edge, this raw edge I've got over here. So I'm going to pop my rotary cutter inside the little diamond, and then I'm going to push it through. And then if my fabric was longer, I'd go all the way up to this other diamond. And that will cut that little piece off. So I want to cut things at an inch. So each of ththese little segments is ½ an inch. Right. So if I cut through here, I can cut another strip like this. So this is really good for somebody if you haven't got a strip roll and you need a strip roll, or you need some sort of accurately cut strips. This will do that for you. So I found this really, really useful when I wanted to make, I was making some Christmas trees out of different strips of fabric. Whereas before, I would have used my rotary cutter and my ruler, and I would have to keep moving my ruler This means that your fabric is kept nice and straight, so you've not got any sort of mistakes being made where you're placing your ruler and you're perhaps a millimetre out. So that is one thing you can do with the Shape Creator. Now another thing you could do is use it for making circles. So if I just quickly cut a piece of fabric off here, and I'm just going to roughly cut it, and then I'm going to fold it into quarters. So, like so. So it's in quarters. And then on the side, each corner of the this Shape Creator, you've got these little pieces here for making circles. So what you would do is you would make sure you've got nice straight lines here, and you match up that right angle there. Yeah. Like so. I'm just going to move that slightly out of the way. And I'm using my smaller rotary cutter. This is the really tiny one. Now the reason I'm using this is because I've said before, we're quite high, these tables are quite high, and using a rotary cutter you should be a little bit lower down. So I always find it's easier for me to use a smaller rotary cutter when I'm using it. So then you can take this away and you can see you've got a perfectly cut circle. So if you don't have a die cutting machine and you want to cut some circles, this is a perfect sort of idea for you. If I show you this quilt that we've got here, so this is being created using that those little sort of circles. So that looks really effective, and that's a really sort of inexpensive way if you don't have those dies and you don't have a die cutting machine in order to be able to make something like that. But you can also do other shapes as well. So this is a quilt that's been made using the strips. So again, this is being done using the shape cutter, just using the strips that you've done. But how effective is that? That looks really, really good using a few different designs of fabrics. So there's lots of things you can do with this Shape Creator. It's definitely well worth having it in your sort of crafting arsenal in order for you to be able to make some really beautiful shapes and some lovely projects.
Absolutely, and a brilliant price as well. Get that rotary cutter for free. It's just incredible. £55.98, $59.90. I also, you're going to get a Club Inspired discount on top of that, which I think is just brilliant. £44.78, $47.92. Quiet on the comments today, but hey, it's great to have you. I know a lot of you just sit back, relax, and enjoy Becky's dulcet tones as she discusses all things craft. What? A brilliant deal for you, all things soft craft. You like your soft craft though, don't you, Becky? You were giving Christina cake advice earlier.
Yeah, do you not? I used to have a cake company. I used to make cakes.
What haven't you done?
I've never done skydiving.
Well, today's your lucky day. A great deal for you on your fabrics. 100% cotton per half metre, all priced at £4.99, $6.25, starting off with your coral. You've got your Merlot. Is that your favourite wine? You're a champagne, aren't you?
Champagne, yeah.
Champagne. You've got your baby powder pink. You've got your emerald. Glorious green. Grass green. Deep ocean. Ocean waves. Sea foam. Sea fire. I can't sing a song about it. Hot pink. Flamingo. Powder pink. Ballerina pink, should I say. Navy. Brilliant blue. That is blue. Sky blue. And black. A brilliant price, £4.99, $6.25. Again, get those while you can. You're also going to get a Club Inspired discount on top of those at £3.99, $5. It is time for our
Build a Block of the Week.
Build a Block of the Week. Alphabets and numbers. 50% off on this. You make yourself laugh, don't you? £34.99, $44.97. Perfect for your personalisation. You've got so many different elements within here in order to make your letters. You're getting a 50% saving. $27.99, $35.98. Becky, this may seem really complicated, but actually, what a huge saving to make something incredible.
It is, and I'm just going to open up this huge quilt so you can see.
Hand?
No, I'm all right. I'll be all right. It does look complicated when you first look at it, but you can see when you look closer, these are all squares and triangles. And we're working on using the Roman alphabet. But obviously you could use, if you're going to be using a different alphabet and you would need a different sort of shapes, different letters, you could definitely easily make these. So this is the letters. No, it's not, it's numbers. I can't tell the difference. It's been one of those days. And then we've got the letters. So the letters are, we've got different sizes. And so we just use the letter A, but we've got them all in the different sizes. So you can see how they change in size. So fantastic if you're going to be making all sorts of different things. I mean, this kind of sort of numbers or alphabet kind of quilt for a small child, a new baby or something like that would be great. But you could easily sort of add these into a bigger quilt, a bigger project. Maybe you want to make a bag that just has somebody's initials on there. That's very easy for you to do. So I'll show you what it looks like when you get the box. So you'll get your instruction booklet, and you'll also get all your different shapes. So you can see here, so you've also got rectangles to make them. So you've got ordinary sort of squares, rectangles. You've got quarter square triangles and half square triangles. And those are those standard shapes that will enable you to make all those different letters and numbers. Plus there's also some extra bonus shapes, bonus blocks that you can make using these shapes as well. So they're all in. That one's not in place. I was going to say this is great because it keeps it all in place. It does normally, but I just dropped this on the floor before we came on air. But you can see you've got everything here, and then you've got this almost like a roadmap which shows you exactly where everything's placed. So when you look at your little booklet, you'll see in here you've got it tells you about sort of cutting on the grain. So we've talked about this before, but in case anybody missed it, cutting on the grain is to do with how the fabric is placed, or how the dye is placed on the fabric. So think of fabric as effectively straight lines going up and down, and then straight lines going from left to right. So it makes almost like a right angle. So where you have your grain line, that is what's running up and down. So you don't want to cut anything on a curve, because you then get a little bit of a sort of a pull or a bit of a stretch in the fabric. Yeah. So you want everything on these dies to be cutting on the grain. So that's the key thing. And then it will tell you how big and how big each block will be depending on the size of the die that you use, because you've obviously got all these different shapes in different sizes, and it tells you also how to put everything together. So all the way through here it will tell you how to make up each of these letters. Now, as we said, these are Roman letters, so if you wanted to, you're going to be using sort of other alphabets, Greek alphabets or whatever it may be, you might need to just get a piece of graph paper and just draw it out on there, and then you'll be able to work out using these dies exactly what you wanted to say. So particularly good if you've got, you know, sort of people in the family with unusual names, unusual lettering, you want to make it really personal. You've also got all your numbers in here, but you've also got things like a question mark, you've got hashtags, nice. You've got commas, you've got exclamation marks, but you've also got these shapes. Now, these shapes really are sort of very key. These are very sort of traditional kind of shapes that you would have had on sort of the corners of quilts, particularly this one, this kind of flower here. But these are all made in the same way, all made out of the same shapes, the squares, quarter square triangles, half square triangles, and those rectangles as well. So you've got all of those in your little booklet. So you just need to have this to hand when you're putting everything together. Now, it will tell you how many of each shape that you need to cut out. So, for example, if we look at the postage stamp here, it says you need 20 quarter square triangles for the background, and for the actual design, the part in the middle, you want 44 quarter square triangles and 9 squares. So we've tried to make it as simple as possible for you to sort of work out, and that's why we've colour-coded it. So you've got 3 different colours in there, so you can work out what you're going to be doing. Lovely. So this is giving, it's not just alphabets and numbers, it's so much more, because there's lots and lots of things you can do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make this corner flower one here. So I'm going to get my pieces of fabric, which I've already cut out.
While you do that, Becky, be asked, did you make the pretty dress you are wearing? If so, where did you get the pattern?
I didn't. I bought this, but thank you. I couldn't say it was mine, could I? I'd get into trouble. Someone would go, hold on a minute, I've got that. And it's actually from Marks & Spencer's.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it's such glorious weather here. It's just beautiful weather, and it has been for the last couple of days. Yeah. It feels very sort of summery, very spring-like. So why not have lots of flowers? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be working on my shape. So I've got some triangles here, and I've used my, I think this is seafoam fabric and hot pink that we got on the show today. And we're also using a little bit of our So Boho fabric, which you can find on the website. So I'm going to be working on this row here. So I've already done the other rows, so I'm going to work on this row here. So my sort of purple stripe down here is actually where I'm using my hot pink, and so I would want to put my So Boho fabrics here and here. Then I'm going to have this one over here, this one here, and then that one there. So I'm going to sew all of those together into a row. But first of all, I'm going to just do this triangle. And you put them together by sewing right sides together. So we're just going to fold these over. And we've already taken into account our seam allowance. Now, because you're using the builder block system, it does mean it's nice and quick to cut everything out. So one of the hardest things I've always felt is measuring and cutting out accurately. But because you're using the builder block, you're able to cut multiple layers of fabric. You'll be able to cut multiple shapes by just going under sort of one pass. And you'll be able to get everything cut out really quickly and then get started with the sewing part. So I'm going to sew this together using my 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Loads of people getting in touch today, sharing on YouTube. Those number and letter quilts are amazing. They would make adorable wall hangers. And Jenny's also saying, I'm seriously thinking of getting this builder block set because I love how the book is laid out to show you exactly how to make all these shapes.
Yeah. And we have tried to do that with all of the builder block systems, but I think this one, it's so clever, and it is just, it's just those really sort of standard shapes. You know, you could make all sorts of different things as well. I mean, there's nothing to stop you from not using the triangles or the squares for another type of you know, patchwork quilt that you want to do.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of different things you can do. So I'm just going to finger press that, and then I'm going to sew all of these together, like so. Ha ha. That joke was lost, wasn't it? Oh dear.
What are you like, Jen?
I know. Terrible. That's what I am. Terrible.
We love you, though. Off she goes like Michael Schumacher.
Pardon?
Off you go like Michael Schumacher.
Oh.
What do you think I said?
I don't. Do you know when the sewing machine's going, and because you're sounding a little bit like Barry right at the moment, I can't hear what you're saying.
Are you saying that you use the sewing machine to drown out my voice?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not really. That suits you. I think that's a good way of using the key rings if you don't have any keys.
What, in my earrings?
As an earring, yeah.
I think that look good.
I'm just gonna unpick this because it just chewed it up a little bit in the sewing machine. Just give me a moment.
Ooh, that's a good shout. With your producer Georgina, with the wonderful key rings that we've got here, you could put a bit of lavender in there, make it a bit of a smelly kind of thing on your bed.
That's a lovely idea, isn't it? I really like that idea.
Not a bad smell, like a good smell.
Yeah, you know, or popping it in your, you know, your underwear drawer. That's what you're supposed to do, aren't you? To, you know, that's what they used to have, little lavender sachets in your underwear drawer.
Is it?
Isn't that right? Yeah.
When was this?
Back when I was young, many years ago. You can, yeah, you'd always have those little things in your, actually what you should do is you should buy the butterfly one, fill it with lavender, and pack it away with all of your cashmere and your wool to stop the moths from eating it. That's what I reckon, because that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
Ooh. The moths don't like lavender?
No, they don't like lavender.
How do
so
you
that
know?
is like a, you know, a sort of an alternative to sort of chemicals that you put sort of lavender down. So I'm just going to cut these little strips here. What would be your favourite colour out of all of those colours over there?
What are the fabrics?
Yeah.
I'd like yellow, but I can't see a yellow.
There isn't a yellow.
I do like the green, the green, the glorious green.
Glorious green, or otherwise known as green.
Green. green. It is good. Loads of you getting in touch today. It's great to have you watching the show. Becky.
Yeah.
What's a boomerang?
What's the what?
A boomerang.
A boomerang? What, in what respect?
Right, so we were having a conversation a few days ago about boomerangs. You know, like on Instagram where you do a little boomerang?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, some people really like them, and then some people don't like boomerangs. And she went, well, what's wrong with a boomerang? You know, they always come back to you. Didn't realise we were having a technology conversation and thought we were talking about the old-fashioned Australian boomerangs, like a proper boomerang.
Actually, my husband knows of another boomerang, and that is when your child leaves for university and then comes back. And he said that's a boomerang that no parents want, when the children just come back after they've finished at university. So that was his idea of a boomerang.
Well, if your kids are watching, don't come back to your house, apparently.
Well, my daughter's in her second year now.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, you know, next year, you know, or 2 years' time, what are you going to do? She's like, coming back home. And we're like, oh, did you not want to, you know, we thought it would be the opportunity for you to sort of go out. She was like, no, why would I want to go anywhere else? You know, I've got a room and someone else does my washing.
My lovely parents that I love and adore.
Exactly.
Lovely.
So we're going to change the locks. She won't know anything about it.
What's your daughter's name?
Ellie.
We've had Ellie Sworn messaging.
Yeah. She
What?
won't. She'll be at uni today.
What's she
She won't be
studying?
watching. Yeah, she won't be. She doesn't watch anymore. The only person that watches is my mum. Hi,
Hello,
Mum.
Mrs. Swan. What does Ellie study?
Medicine or medical science. She's doing. Yeah. She's
She's smart.
Yeah, she's quite smart. We don't know where she's come from. Clearly not us, no. So I'm just going to lay out my strips. So I've already sort of sewn these together. So this is the bottom strip here. That is the next one along. Then we've got this one here. And then that one there. Oh, let's just move that down so you can probably see a little bit better. So you start. This is how you do all of these. You start with the strips first of all, and then you sew all of those strips on to make the final shape. But you can see how that then looks like a corner flower. And obviously, if you wanted to, you're going to be using these on a quilt. So we're not necessarily telling you to. Or sort of, we can recommend, but you know, you could just use these for parts of other quilts. So you might be using them in conjunction with the builder block system that we've already done. You might be using them with some of our Joe Avery blocks. If you're just working with a block that's a certain size, like a 12-inch or a 10-inch, you could just use these as well. You can put in, I think it would be really nice to make a wedding quilt with Mr. and Mrs. on it, or somebody's initials. So making it, you know, really personalised. So there's lots of things you could do, but you also just need to remember you're also going to be getting these extra kind of shapes and patterns that you can make as well. So all we need to do now is stitch each of these strips together.
Lovely.
And then our block is going to be finished.
Perfect.
So I'm just going to give them a bit of an iron so they're nice and flat.
Is it important to keep ironing?
Yeah, it is, because it's quite important to make sure your fabrics are all the right size. So if I show you that one I'd ironed before, which is the one that I just sewed now. This is the one I've just sewn now. So you can see if I'm lining them up, they don't quite meet. This one, they're not quite flat.
Yeah.
These seams aren't quite going to match. So it's important that you do keep sort of sewing, flattening everything, ironing it all down. Now, when I sewed this one here, I just sort of finger pressed that for speed. But if I was being really accurate and I was working on this at home, I would have probably gone and ironed that. Yeah, it's definitely worth spending a little bit of time to make sure you've got your ironing sort of all settled out. And it does, if you're just a few centimetres out, so if, for example, if I just sewn this together, and then if I match that up there, you can see here, you've got this part here which doesn't quite match up. And whilst it, you know, if you're making something for yourself, it might not bother you. And if you're just starting to do sewing, it shouldn't bother you when things are slightly not completely accurate. But as you go forward, you might want to make sure that everything's perfect, and particularly if you're going to be giving it to somebody. And you're with these shapes, because you're trying to say something, you're trying to say a letter, it's quite important you've got those straight lines. So I definitely say to sort of eradicate any problems, because you're using the builder block system, you know everything's been cut accurately, make sure you're sewing accurately, and make sure you're giving everything a good press as well.
Lovely. So next you're going to iron these, press them out. Perfect. With the dies themselves from the builder block system, what machine would you recommend to be using these with? Which Gemini?
I just use the A4 Gemini with mine, and that's absolutely fine. But you could, because they're quite small, you could easily fit them into the Junior, and that wouldn't be a problem at all. I always use my fabric plates. with mine, because it does make a difference when I'm cutting multiple sort of layers of fabric. And as you can imagine, I'm using the builder block system probably four days out of the week, I would have said, or 3 days out of the week. So mine gets a real hammering. So if I didn't have my fabric plates, I would find that my normal plates I'd be using would be very, very marked. So it's definitely worth having if you're going to be using them a fair amount.
Yeah.
So I found actually if I switch the iron on, it irons better, which I've now done. So I'm just going to press these.
Honestly, I worry about you.
I know,
so much sometimes.
I know. I
mean, it's made a massive difference turning the iron on. Yes,
Yeah.
it has, Georgina. Turning the iron on now produces heat. Oh, actually, I see what you mean now. The point of ironing, yeah. But it has made it flat and made it easier for you to sew.
Yeah. And if you've ever watched any of the soft craft shows that Leanne does, Leanne irons everything multiple times. She really does make a big fuss of ironing, and it does make a difference because everything looks a lot better once you've sort of put it all together. So now I'm going to sew those strips together.
Lovely.
Make sure I've got them the right way round. So this is just the time where you might want to spend a few moments making sure you've got everything lined up nicely.
Mm-hmm. And again, same process, lining them up, stitching them all together as one big panel.
So I'll just do one of these and then I'll show you what I've done already. Then you can see how that looks. So if I sew that one here, so again using my 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Lovely. So much more coming up for you on the show in about 5-10 minutes time. Mark from Visible Image is going to be here, so popular already today. So we're going to love Mark. And joined by Joe's in the studio, waiting in the wings to come on this afternoon. You all right, Joe? He's got a thumbs up from Joe. It's going to be a great show. Becky's going to come back a little bit later on for even more soft crafting. And then tonight, it's a masterclass all about credit cards with Lily and Joe, 6 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Rachel's asking a question on the social. Do you ever use a stabiliser spray on your fabric first? Would that make a difference? Oh,
I've never used that.
Oh.
Was that you that made that noise?
Get lost with you, man. Was
No,
that me?
I've never used a fabric stabiliser actually with these. I don't know whether I don't think you really would, because you're going to be using. You want these fabrics to stay fabric-like. You want them to have sort of a bit of movement in there, so I wouldn't necessarily do that. Yeah, that would be my recommendation. So
Yeah.
that's one that I've stitched across here. But if I show you what I've already done. So this is a little bit of bunting for Mother's Day.
On Sunday.
So
here
you
in
can
the UK.
see how these, that's probably the better one to have a look at. This is the M. But you can see they're made in exactly the same way. So I've used the plain fabrics and also the sew boho. So you can just see how that would look. So you could use it for all sorts of other things. You could make smaller ones as well if you wanted to. I've just made it a little bit bigger so you can see what it looks like. But these were all made in exactly the same way with those squares, rectangles, and those triangles as well.
Looks lovely. Loads of love coming today. Sherry on YouTube goes, aha, a moment for Miss Becky. Iron on produces heat. It really does. It's clever.
Yeah, I know.
Really clever.
If only I thought about that earlier.
Well, I mean, who knows? Barbara on YouTube, love those keychains, love your demos. Great show. Great price on your builder block because it is the...
Builder block of the week.
There it is for you at £34.99. Joe's face is like, what on earth? £44.97. Half price on that. Ooh, I've gone 3 semitones up. Half price for you on that at platinum price, £27.99, $35.98. A great price for you on the builder blocks. Brand new launch for your brand new collection. Launching today, the felt animal key rings, 4 within the collection. The wonderful rabbit, the fox, the bear and the butterfly. You're going crazy for them today. I mean, they are beautiful. Perfect for little ones, perfect for anybody really. There's so much fun that can be had with these for you today. There's the butterfly, there's the fox, And there is the wonderful little bear. You're going to get everything within those kit at 10% saving. You can buy them individually, but buying the collection, you get yourself 10% off at £25, $31.95. Excuse me, get Club Inspire price as well at £20, $25.56. Loads more coming up. Becky, you're going to be back in an hour's time. What have you got planned in an hour?
I have got I've got another animal to make, but I've also got a little bag to show you as well.
Perfect. I'm going to be back with you next Friday in a week's time for even more fun and crafting. Do not go anywhere. Joe's going to be joining us and taking the whole of the reins as we welcome back Visible Image, which you guys are going crazy for. I'll see you back here in a week's time. Have a wonderful time. Do not go anywhere. Visible Image back here in the studio very, very shortly.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours. I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing. Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up. I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy. All your crafting must-haves in a flash. Take all the hard work out of patchwork with the Gemini Build-A-Block Patchwork System. This innovative collection of multimedia dies allows you to create patchwork blocks with ease and total accuracy. This set includes 18 dies to cut a range of shapes and sizes for patchwork or quilting projects. They can cut multiple layers of fabric at once. They include an accurate 1/4 inch seam allowance, plus all of your pieces are cut exactly the same size every time. Follow your own creative inspiration or look through the 20 patterns laid out in the guide. Not enough? There's an additional 60 patterns online. And right now, we have amazing offers on the Gemini Build-A-Block Patchwork System. Quick Buy. Get yours now.
Hello there, you cheeky little lot. Welcome back to Crafters TV. I hope you've missed me. I've missed you lot. I've been here for 6 whole days, but you've got me all weekend, which I'm very much looking forward to. We've got loads planned throughout the week, and you wait until you see what's on tomorrow till I tell you about that. But yeah, we're having a very, very busy day today here on Crafters TV. You've loved that first part of Softer Side. We'll revisit that in an hour's time. But for now, what we of course are going to be looking at is all things Visible Image. Again, I'm not my own. Mark is back with me. How are you, Mark?
Hello.
In your swoop.
I was going to jump in there, wasn't I? Just kind of jump in.
There you go, amazing. Very, very busy show this
Yes.
morning, which is always lovely.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure to have you back with us in the studio. It's always fun having you guys around.
Thank you.
For anyone that is new, though, to Visible Image, tell us a little bit about it. How did you get started and what sort of stuff do you do?
Husband and wife team. We started about 10 years ago, working together. Yeah, we do things a bit more edgy, a bit more modern and fluid. So yeah, people love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very popular last time you were here. Brand new products for you and bringing back some of your favourites from last time. We're going to go through this particular collection first. It's a bumper collection of stamps and dies. It's all about Wonderland, which is brilliant. I'll just give you the details. It's $119.99 or $174.94. Loads of different characters in here, Mark. Let's look at this one first. This one here is Alice in Wonderland. So we're going to get the stamps in there and the dies as well. You're getting everything I'm about to share with you in this next one here. There's some really iconic imagery in this set,
Oh,
isn't there?
totally. You know, everyone loves Alice in Wonderland, and everyone can relate to at least one of the characters. Yeah, it's what people think Alice in Wonderland looks like.
Yes.
You know, in their heads, that's what it is.
And you can see here some of the samples, how beautiful it is. Love how many sort of sentiments you've got in here. Although they're not really sentiments, the wording, can you play around with that?
Oh, you can move those around and create different elements. Yeah, it's really a lot of fun, that.
Really loads and loads of fun. The next one we've got then for you is this one just here. So it's your, oh, hang on, we're on 2 cameras, Mark, it's fine. Here we go. George is on it, George of the joystick, smashing it out of the park today. So you've got the white rabbit here, and again we've got those stamps and also the dies in there as well. Super handy to have all those numbers as well.
Yeah.
A die set for numbers is going to be coming so handy for loads of different things.
Anniversaries, birthdays, you know, you name it, it's there.
Absolutely gorgeous. Going to be fun colouring those up as well, I'd imagine, with all of your different alcohol markers. Then something I'm often grinning like, Mark, especially when you guys are here in the studio, is a Cheshire cat. This one here is the Cheshire cat. Lots in there again for you. Lots of lovely embellishing elements in all of these stamp sets.
I mean, we tried hard to think about what's the best thing to put in the set, and I think we've kind of nailed it. And aren't we all mad here?
Yes, yeah, we are. We are, absolutely are. But you're in the right place, don't you worry about that. Love those textural backgrounds that are in there too. This one is so fabulous. The Mad Hat. Kind of mad, maybe a little bit scary, but also he looks quite friendly at the same time, I'd say, Mark.
Yeah, I think so. You know, people have said to me he's like the Joker's cousin. So
I like the Joker and Austin Powers had a love child.
Well, yeah.
Do you not think?
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I think we're going for there. That's what I see anyway. Maybe that says more about me than anything else. This one here then is the caterpillar. Wow. Love this. Kind of sassy, this caterpillar, which I love.
Yes, but the great thing about this particular set is that the caterpillar and the toadstool are totally separate stamps as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So loads of options when it comes to getting things like perspective on that. We're still going. Yeah, you're getting all of this included in this bundle. I know, it's an absolute whopper of a collection, this one. You've then got the Queen of Hearts in here. Now, producer Georgina said this is sassy.
Yeah, definitely.
Love the collar blocking in the hair there, and of course all the dies that you need to cut those out. Again, with all of the samples you show us, Mark, I absolutely love the incredible backgrounds that you've got there on those ones. And then finally, we're going to also look then at Tweedledum, Tweedledee, which are these two just here. They're so different. I don't recall seeing anything like this before.
I mean, the thing is, we've thought about, you know, whether it be for 1 or 2, so it's really cool. You know, I love it.
Really awesome. $119.99, $174.94. A great saving for you. By far and away, your favourite item of the day so far from Visible Image. Right, I'm going to send you off there, Mark. I know you've got loads planned, demos-wise,
yep, sure.
So I'll be over with you in just a second. I do need to run you through, though, some of the other items that you are loving so far today from Visible Image. This is your Wonderland Stencils selection for you. 3 different stencils within here and a 30% savings. Essentially, you're getting one of these for free, which is awesome. You're looking at, of course, $11.98 or $17.20 if you want to get your hands on those. We then have the Timeless collection for you. Absolutely brilliant if you love your steampunk projects, this one. A fifth of the stock went just in the earlier show, so if you want that, you may have to get a bit of a wiggle on. £20 or $29 for Platinum members. The Fearless Tiger, absolutely love the amount of texture you've got here on this one. You're getting a stamp and you're getting the stencil as well. You will get to see a demo on this in this particular show. $13.99 or $20.34 if you want to get your hands on those. Now, something that was so incredibly busy the last time the guys from Visible Image joined us is this, your Spring Flowers collection. 15 stamps and a stencil in here as well. It is UK only, $23.98, or if you are here in the UK, a fifth of the stock there has already gone. And another one, also backed by popular demand, it is UK only, $28.75 if you want to get those. 18 stamps in there. Love the lips in there. I think they are absolutely fabulous. Lots of you chatting away with me already. Pam says, Joe, we missed you. Hello, hello, Pam. Terry H is loving the stamps on the show. And Mary Beth has just popped in from Minnesota to say hi and see all things Visible Image. Well, you're in the right place, Mary Beth. You really, really are. Going to leave these details on the screen for you of that bumper collection. 29 dies, 74 stamps in there. Check out the saving too, over £40, almost $60 is what you are saving just over there. Mark is being applauded for maybe being the most organised demonstrator we have here in the Crafters TV studio. Everything colour coordinated over there. You look ready to go, Mark.
I am really. Whenever you're ready.
What would you like to start off with then?
I think I'm going to use the Cheshire Cat.
Fabulous.
And I'm going to combine that with the We're All Mad Here stencil.
Mad? Amazing even.
Made?
Sorry, I've got mad on the brain today, obviously.
I know. I think last time I was here, I was called, people called me different names. I was like Colin, I was Matt, I don't know. So I can be mad as well.
There you go. If the shoe fits, or the cat fits even.
Yeah, definitely. Right, okay, so I think we'll make a start with this. I've got a piece of card behind this We Are All Mad Here stencil, and I'm just going to blend through some of the distress inks.
Amazing.
In basically a rainbow fashion, because that's the colour I'm going for today. These are, you know, I just love having fun with these, blending these up together, and you're going to get this lovely texture. We just go with different colours. Start off with the reds. Now I'm going through like the colour spectrum. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You go through any colour that you prefer.
Oh, I love a bit of rainbow, Mark. This is right up my street. Those two bundles that I said to you a moment ago were UK only. The Spring Flowers and Designer T-shirts, they are not UK only. Everyone can have a go at those. They are available in the US as well. So we're just going to amend the details for you, and I will remind you of them in just a minute's time. That was George, apparently. He kept calling Mark all sorts of different things.
Yeah, something not so pleasant.
Martha says, hello all, lovely sunny day it is. It's my birthday, so I don't have to work.
Oh, wow.
I have a chance to be with you. Happy birthday, Martha.
What I do like is the fact that you can, you know, you don't have to be an expert at doing this. This is something that everybody else can do. And it's about having fun with what you're creating. It just makes all the difference. And you know, we were talking in the break about the prices of these the stamp collection itself.
Really good, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of worked out in our heads that it's nearly 4 stamp sets free.
Yeah, it's excellent value.
I just can't believe that. I just can't believe it.
Yeah. No, it is really
mad.
excellent
It's
value.
totally mad.
And nice to see all those stamp sets with dies as well that accompany them. So yeah, I'm guessing, Mark, you're going to use the stamps on their own, or you're going to use them with the dies. It gives them the most amount of options, isn't it?
Totally. You know, and for me, you know, they have been available separately before, but you know, it's like I always say, like it's like Back to the Future. You don't want episodes 1 and 3 and miss out on 2. So you know, if you can and they're on offer, buy the lot.
Absolutely do. And it's the best way, of course, to get the best value. Details on your screen are for the stencil that Mark is using. It's a 3-pack. You get 3 different stencils designed to perfectly complement the stamps and dies that is your main collection, which is already, again, going very, very quickly here live on this Friday. I've got to say, Mark, I'm very, very confused. I keep coming today on Friday asking everyone how their weekend's been, because it's my first day on shift today.
Oh, really?
And people keep looking at me very strangely.
Oh, and it's gorgeous weather outside as well, isn't it?
It really, really is. Beautiful.
So let's remove
look
this
at that.
and see what we get.
That's incredible.
How does that look, everyone?
Really, really cool.
Ah, yeah, they're actually saying in the gallery the reason why I have them lined up. Yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, really, really cool.
Right, so let's crack on. We'll stamp the cat now, the Cheshire Cat. We'll put this to one side for a second, and we'll come back to that. We will get this Cheshire Cat out and we'll stamp. probably one of the most famous characters in the Alice in Wonderland, I would say. There's so many people who love cats as well. So I think,
Are you a cat fan or a dog fan, Mark, or a bit of both?
well, I think I'm more of a cat fan than a dog fan.
Okey-doke.
And that's not nothing against dogs. It's because maybe, you know, I used to have a cat many years ago, and I know my mother-in-law Jen, she's got a cat as well. Drives her up the wall, I think.
I've actually been to the, there's an Alice in Wonderland statue in Central Park in the US. Really lovely big,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's a big bronze statue. You just sort of sit on it and have a picture. It's really quite fabulous. And these definitely take us back to a time and place for that, don't they? Probably quite evocative, I'd imagine, of a lot of people's childhood, a lot of this imagery.
How gorgeous is that? It stamps beautifully.
Beautiful.
I'm going to use some clear embossing powder. I'd love to tell you a story about clear embossing powder, but I don't think I will.
Oh, go on. You can't tease us like that and then not tell us.
Well, if anyone watched the earlier shows, I was being very specific about not mixing my embossing powders up.
Right.
So I didn't actually mix them up. But what happened was that during one of the breaks, somebody else poured my embossing powder into my white embossing powder into my clear embossing powder.
Oh no! So now you've got kind of best of both.
You can't really use it. It's got to be thrown out.
Oh, okay.
I laughed it off because it's a thing that I would do at home, and I've done it many times. It just happens, and you just get used to it.
I noticed that you are embossing from underneath. Any
Right.
particular reason why you prefer that?
Absolutely not. I mean, some people are used to doing it from above. The difference with doing it from underneath is you get a slightly smoother finish to it.
Okay.
It's very subtle. I mean, you'd have to look very closely to notice the difference. But, you know, crafters would probably notice the difference. It's a little bit harder to do because you've got to make sure you don't burn yourself as well.
Right.
But I think you get a lovely finished look on there.
Lovely, clean, clear, crisp stamps those, aren't they? The line work and detail is absolutely exquisite on them.
And it looks like the Cheshire cat. I think I think I'll do some colouring. One of the things I do like about it is when we designed it was that we made sure that the face could be cut out on its own.
Right.
Do you see what I mean there?
Yeah.
We designed it so you could just use the face if you wanted to. So I would start colouring in.
Yeah, and I guess if you want to, you know, fussy cut elements of these, decoupage them. Of course, you've got the dies that are going to allow you to do that as well. Pammy says, watching Mark demos making me wish I could spend time in my crafty corner. I love, love, love this wonderful collection.
Oh,
Mary
that's great.
Pat says, I love visible image as well. And Sherry says, yes, we are all mad here, Mark.
Yes.
Welcome. In the right place. You really, really are.
Now I'm going to jump because I'm not going to spend half an hour colouring it in, but it is the most therapeutic thing you can actually do is colour it in. But the good thing is we have dies now. This is something new for us. Having the dies to cut out these characters is absolutely amazing. That's what I love to do. So I'm going to jump to one. Do you see how I've coloured that one in there like that?
Beautiful.
Yes.
Love your colour choices, Mark. Very bold.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted something, you know, you can, lots of our design team have coloured them differently. This is the colour choice that I've chosen. And I don't know whether you can see, if I can hold that up maybe. I've used some of the glossy highlights on the eyes there. There we go.
Beautiful.
And yeah, and it's all these small things that really do make the difference to your projects. Isn't that amazing, having that on your card? I mean, even if you've got like a Ginger Tom, this would look amazing, wouldn't it?
Beautiful.
So what I shall do now is I shall put this card together. So I've got a card blank. And do you know what? This morning, somebody noticed that I have little tiny arrows. You probably can't see them on there.
Right.
But I do have little tiny arrows to know which way I'm doing things up the right way up.
So we don't get any Australian cards.
No.
Imagine my surprise, Mark, when I went to Australia for the first time, having worked in the craft industry for about 4 years. And in fact, the cards open the same way around there as they do here. I felt like it had been a lie. I was expected to go there and all the cards be backwards. But no, turns out they're the same way as here.
So let's just place that on there. And you notice how put onto the black mat makes your background pop.
Really does.
That's really cool. Next, we're going to use the, do you know what I'm going to do first? Shall I do the inside? No, I'll do the outside first. Let's put the cat on. I'm going to use some of the 3D glue. This is the Kalal one. It is my go-to glue these days.
Fabulous. It's good because it's not too whiffy, is it?
I've never sniffed it.
It doesn't smell of anything.
Do you know what it smells like? Sniffing glue on I just want to smell.
Some of the dimensional glues have got a bit of a fishy odour to them.
It's what you do when you're smelling the milk, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't. Do you know what it smells like? Is like when you go to when you go to swimming baths, maybe. It
Yeah,
smells a bit
maybe.
like
That sort of slight whiff
yeah, a
to
bit
it.
like chlorine. Do you know what? I'm thinking of putting the cat there. I'm going to have the sentiment inside. So let's just put the cat there. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the cat there. We're all mad here. Just like he's just about to go around the corner for something. We'll have a look now. That's the way where cats do. They never sit in the middle. So, and then on the inside I've got this amazing sentiment, which is, we're all mad here, and I've cut that out. Do you see how that die cuts that sentiment out? That's really cool. Now, for the inside, this was one of the last minute things. I couldn't decide on how I was going to do the inside. And it came to me just in a one of those like, oh, I'll do that. So what I'll do is I shall get just my blending pen, blending tool, sorry, I should say, dip it into your ink, and what we're going to do is we're going to press down and just do a little bit of a twist there like that. We're going to go back in with the green, dab that there, and we'll do green over the top there. Give it a twist, and then we'll go back in with the blue.
This is really
cool. Or shall I do yellow? I'm not sure whether we're red, green, blue. I can't decide. Oh, I think we'll go blue. We'll go blue. So we'll go blue there like that. There, and then we should use a bit. Where's my? Oh, I thought I'd lost it there. Right, so we'll stick that on. We'll stick that on. Right, 3D glue. Again, these are the simple things that are ideas for people that you go, oh yeah, I didn't think about doing something like that. And it's those things that you think of at midnight, you know.
Are you one of those people, Mark, that has like a pen and paper next to their bed and writes things down in the middle of the night?
Well, I'd love to say, Helen would love me to say that, but half the time I'm actually not asleep in any way.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I think we'll go with that.
That's
so we've got a
amazing.
lovely inside of the card there. We're all mad here, bit funky, and then we've got that.
What a lovely card. And also, Mark, I'm sure you won't mind me saying, not an overly complicated card to do, not really that elaborate, but when you've got stencils and stamps and dies that do the work for you, you don't have to put too much work in, do you?
Do you know what? I would love to quickly just show you, before we jump on to the next demonstration,
Absolutely.
is talking about complicated things, or not complicated.
Oh, that's cool.
So, this was my non-complicated card, you see. So this is my non-complicated card. Quite simple, it's all flat besides the cat. Nothing complicated in that. But then I did it again, but made it more complicated. And I will make a video of this one of how I made this card.
Okey-doke.
So kind of the same thing.
That's so cool. Oh, wow. Oh, are you hypnotising me? Am I gonna leave the studio and have no wallet in a second or something like that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All your money out your bank account is just about to disappear.
That is so cool.
So,
I absolutely love that.
But that's the kind of thing you can make with that stamp set.
Yeah, and I think it really feeds into that style, doesn't it? I think it's really going to excite you. It's very different to anything you may have seen before. I'm going to quickly run you through again the stamps and dies that you've got in this particular collection, and just give you and really scratch the surface of some of the things that you can do with these. So first up, you've got Alice in Wonderland. Now, again, great how the guys really do pack these stamps full. So you've got all of your wording in there, your embellishments in there as well, and look at what the kind of things that you're going to be able to make. I think they are so, so cool. I think if you wanted to do this more in like an anime style as well, you could absolutely take that imagery and make a more anime themed card if you wanted to. I think there's loads of different ways you can take it. You've then also got as well the White Rabbit, which is that one there. And again, your wording in here. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. Sames. That is me on a lot of days. I'm very rarely on time these days. And again, look at the kind of thing that you can do. Again, that is all flat But because you've got those fantastic dies and stamps and that inky background in there is amazing, you will then also receive in here, of course, the Cheshire cat as well, which you've just seen Mark demonstrating there a moment ago. You will get the dies in there to cut that out. And again, look at how cool that is. The colour choices on these are amazing. Lots of different texture in here too. So again, loads of ideas on how you might use these. You've then got the Mad Hatter as well, who I just think is so cool. And again, the dies that you need to cut those out. And these are the kind of results you're going to be getting there. You're entirely bonkers. Some little gems on there. Again, some stamped imagery in the background for you. This next one is fun, the caterpillar you also receive. You're getting all of these in here for this price, which is amazing. This one is amazing. The background on that card, Mark, is absolutely exquisite. So, so cool. Again, just the imagery that you've got there, die cut out, layered up with the words. Really, really striking. So different to anything I've seen before. We've also then, of course, got the Queen of Hearts in here. Really lovely. Treat me like a queen is the wording there on that one. And this has been done onto a tag. Now, I love a tag. And again, you can see how striking that is, getting your alcohol markers involved. You then also have Tweedledum, Tweedledee in here and the stamps and dies that go along with that. And I think they are just so, so cool. Again, an idea of what you can do. A brilliant saving for you. A fifth of the stock of this big collection has already gone. A lot of you have got this in your basket at the moment as well. So definitely think about checking it out. Let me show you some of the stencils. Now the stencils have been put together to complement the stamps and dies beautifully. So you've got in here, Mad here is what this one is called. You will also get Tea Party and Dark Hearts as well. Lots going on in these. A fifth of these have gone. Almost everyone that's going for the larger collection is adding the stencils in, which makes so much sense because when you look at how incredible the samples are with the characters and also then the stenciled backgrounds, it really gives you so much dimension. Again, more ideas for what you can do with these. And again, such a simple background, using that with a rainbow through there. I think very, very effective. But then look at that. That is absolutely incredible. And again, this one here, lots of heat embossing on that one. Is that heat embossing or is that some sort of texture paste on that one, Mark?
It's texture paste, and then obviously I think it's scratched through or used a Posca pen possibly through it.
Oh, wow.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Really, really tactile. Absolutely love that. $11.98 or $17.20. They, of course, complement the main collection beautifully. You can go for them on their own if you so wish. They will stand alone and work as is. Let me share this next one with you. This is the tiger set here. So you've got the Fearless Tiger stamp. I love the incredible amount of texture that you've got around that tiger's face there on that stamp. Let me turn it over for you. You can see the image there. Absolutely gorgeous. And then you've also got the Grasslands, which is your stencil, which is going to complement that beautifully. The amazing samples, again, that the guys have created on these particular ones. I absolutely love that one there with some sort of paste through and then the tiger's head. I mean, I could just spend the rest of the show going through these beautiful samples. Is anyone else singing the Eye of the Tiger in their head, or is it just me? You see here, this one's super cool. I think that is so strong, and this one as well. I've said that about every sample so far, but you get the drift. Amazing what you can do with these particular stamps and stencils, and also maybe you've not tried visible image before. What a great try me collection, because it's $13.99 or $20.34. You've got the stamp and the stencil, and I think you know you're going to be able to create something great with these. Lots of you chatting away in the comments as well. Loads and loads of love for that last demonstration. Right, what would you like to share with us next, Mark?
I think it's called Somewhere in Time. I'm using Somewhere in the Time collection.
Amazing. Okie doke.
The Timeless collection. So yeah. Right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp.
Let me just quickly run you through that Timeless collection first, Mark. Sorry.
Sure.
My bad. I'm getting ahead of myself. You see, I'm so excited to see the demo. I'm jumping the gun. These are big stamp sets is what I'd say about these. They are big, big stamps that you're going to be able to create very striking projects. So you've got Ahead of Our Time. You will also get Somewhere in Time. I absolutely love that broken pocket watch. I think that's really cool. And then you've also got your stencil in there too. Check this out. How amazing is that? Can you see how dimensional that is and textured. That is absolutely incredible. Again, lots of projects here with these done onto things like your MDF, which is amazing. That one's incredible as well. I mean, they're all incredible, Mark. I need to stop saying the samples are incredible because it's what I seem to say about all of them. They are amazing. Your design team must be one very, very talented bunch of people.
Oh, they are. You know, I absolutely love them. You know, they're absolutely amazing at what they're doing. I think we've got one of the best teams going. So yeah, pleased.
They are amazing, certainly judging by these samples, indeed. Right, what would you like to share with us on this one then, Mark?
Yeah, so I'm going to use the smashed clock. Now, what I do like about this set is that it works with the Wonderland perfectly. You know, you think about, you could use this with the rabbit. It'd be absolutely amazing. So ink it up. Now, if you're not sure about, you know, going old school and using a block, go back to using a stamping platform if you want. But I'm still playing with using both at the moment. So just stamp that. And I'm actually using one of the Crafter's Companion stamping mats, which is new to me. But yeah, it's really cool. I do love that. This was a present from Helen the other day. So yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Not the kind of present. No, I know it is a present. I can't. You know, maybe I should buy. Maybe I should buy her like a vacuum cleaner or something. No, we were joking about that the other day. No. So I stamp that, and it stamps beautifully. I will clear emboss that because I think that's going to look really cool. So get my.
Loads of love coming in, and really loving the cat. Pammy saying how they'd like to do the Cheshire cat in sparkle pens. I bet that'd look amazing.
Yes.
Beth just got a package. Woohoo! What's in it, Beth? Let us know. Love how Mark did the circles, says Michelle. Who else we got here? Rachel says, I put my die sets into the packet with the stamps, where both on the reverse keeps them neat and together. Yeah, really great idea on how to store them.
Do you know what's funny is like, the heat gun for me here is on the left-hand side, and at home I've got it on the right. So you know, I go to the, you know, when like driving the car the wrong way round or something.
Oh, I hear you. I'm on holiday next week, and I've decided to hire a car, Mark, and it's an other side of the road country. Oh. And I don't do very good. I don't know. I think it's because it's all, as you were saying, it's all on the other side, isn't it? The gear stick being on the right-hand side, it throws me just quite badly.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I think I'll get an automatic.
Yeah. I'm not going the same place, so I'll be safe. Right, so you've stamped this. Now, this is one of the things where you can go to town. What I would do next would be to use the Pebeo drawing gum.
Okie doke.
And you would cover that. It's a liquid. Now, I'm not sure whether it's on your website. It should be.
I believe we have it on the website.
Yeah.
Just go check
it's good. It's basically, it's like liquid rubber. You should stir it and not shake it, because if you shake it, you'll get bubbles in it, okay? You don't want bubbles. So you just want to stir it and then just use it straight from there. It is basically liquid rubber, and it will dry hard, okay? But what it does allow you to do is to basically put more product over the top of it without making it, making the product, you know, keeping it white.
Okie doke.
So I've just jumped to one that I've actually already done with some on the edges, because I don't want the edges coloured in. So this will, when I rub this off, you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my, now this is one of the big splats that come with this. Now people think in the set that it's just one stamp, but it's actually two separate stamps. The clock and the splat are two separate stamps, which is really cool. You could use this with anything else that you've got as well, which is really good. I wanted to make sure that you could use them separately. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my distress inks yet again. And we've got a colourful theme coming on here. I've been doing a lot of colourful lately, so that's what, you know, we'll maybe get to a bit more grungy later on, so we'll see how we get on. So I'm just going through the colours, and I'm just basically inking up the stamp with different colours. Just go round the stamp. I'm not too worried about contaminating the stamp. I've never had an issue where, you know, it's ruined it. So just go around the colours, around the block with different colours, basically in a kind of rainbow pattern. You can use black if you want something more dramatic.
Yeah, I guess with all of these collections, I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about stamping, is that you change up the colourway, you know, vary the technique slightly, you've got something that looks completely different.
Oh, totally.
The amount of different ways that you can use these are incredible.
So, the next thing I want to do is, now doing this live, you never know what's going to happen, whether it's going to work or it's not going to work, so we'll see now, shall we? Right, the first thing to do is I need to spritz my stamp because need to moisten it so the colours blend together a little bit more. So spritz it a few times, and then also spritz your project.
Okie doke.
Okay, because once the ink hits the card, it's going to spray out, so it'll merge the colours better. Now, whether this works live or not, we'll see now.
We'll forgive you if it doesn't, Mark, don't you worry.
I won't forgive me, though.
Sorry?
I won't forgive myself.
Oh, okay.
So we do that, and we just leave it there just for a second, and then we'll pull that off. So I'll get some tissue.
It's looking amazing.
We just want the colour to slightly soak into the card, and hopefully we'll get something that looks just dab it up a little bit. There we go. I think we got away with that. What do you reckon, people? Maybe a round of applause? We kind of got it, yeah.
A bit of a rubbish round of applause.
I know.
It's only me ahead in the studio, so it sounded more like chips frying than sound of applause, didn't it?
We'll dry this off just a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next section. What I wanted to do is to show you how the drawing gun works.
It's a really nice quiet heat tool you've got.
Is it quiet?
Yeah, nice and quiet. Laurie says these collections are so cool, out of this world amazing, wow. Terry says, OMG, I want all of it. And Rachel, our social media superstar, very, very impressed with that last demonstration.
So now I wanted to show you basically is to use a cleanish dry finger, and what you want to do is just to gently rub off. Start rubbing off the glue. So you're basically getting a nice sharp edge to your project. Do you see how that's coming through?
That's amazing.
Now just go around and rub that. I didn't need to do that because I'm going to be covering the rest of it up, so you're not going to see the edge, but you're going to see the edge though. And I didn't want
such a great, it's so effective, isn't it? It really actually makes the colours pop even further by having those preserved highlights. Like they were already really popping off.
So we're getting there now. We're on to the next stage. Now the next stage, you would stamp out the clock yet again. So you would stamp it out there, and you could put that on top of there, and it'd be great. But if you want to give it that extra like dimension, you're going to have to go a little bit further. And the one thing that I did do was that I stamped it out yet again, and I cut out some of the elements, and then I put glossy accents on it as well.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
So now it becomes three-dimensional, and that's the difference that it makes. You can go as little or as simply as you want, or you can make it so very interesting like this. I mean, that's going to sit on top of there like that.
And that's a great point there. You could have just stamped it and over-stamped it in the colour. Brilliant. You know, you've used the drawing gum, that's the next level, or you can take it to this third level. So, I mean, I think even, you know, the most basic version would look amazing. So, if you want to put the time in, gosh, you can really create a wow.
Yeah, totally. Let me just move this out of the way now. What I want to do next, a little bit more, is use the amazing Count Me In stencil as well. So we're going to put that over there. And what we're going to do is go back in with our blending tools, I should say. And just go over some of those colours there, just to give it a little bit of an accent on those splashes and colours coming out there. You don't need to do too much. Again, this is what
I'm mesmerised by this, Mark. I really am. Honestly, no one's chatting in the comments. It's like a tumbleweed blowing through the comments.
This is one of those ideas that, you know, it came to me one evening, but whether, you know, I couldn't really demonstrate it beforehand. I just had to go for it, and hopefully it would work. So, do you know, I think we're just about done there. A little bit more yellow down there. So, I think we'll leave that there. So you've got those numbers there through the stencil. Again, a brilliant stencil, especially if it's somebody's birthday or something. Now let's put this together and we'll create a nice little card to go on here. So I'll use my tape gun. Oh, left hand, right. You would obviously take more time sticking this down than I am doing today, but so we'll go through there.
Beth says, I love anything with timepieces or steampunk, right up my street. Gilmore saying, mind blown. Pammy says, wowzers, trousers, Mark, and a lot of mind blown emojis.
So I mean, yeah, we try and do, you know, always go, you know, when I'm creating cards, I always try and look at it from the finished card perspective, look through a camera to see, does it look good? Is it okay? Do you think people will like it? And that's what I'm always thinking to myself is, hopefully the demonstrations will give everybody else ideas as to what they can do with this same set.
What I love about these is all of your sets really, none of them particularly gender specific or occasion specific. I think you could take lots of these stamp and die sets into any occasion that you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, you've got loads of occasions coming up. You've got Father's Day, which these would lend themselves to perfectly, wouldn't they? And combining these with the White Rabbit as well from the Alice in Wonderland collection, well, it's a game changer, I think. So, do you know what? I think I might be done with that card.
Amazing, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we're done. I think we're done for that. So let me just hold that up for you.
Yeah, I think that is a really, really stunning card. Again, those stamps in there and the stencils working together to create something amazing. Quite remarkable to think you get everything you need to create that card for under £20 or just over $29 as a platinum member. Let me just recap then exactly what you got in there. And just to say, in this particular collection, Mark has really used only a tiny amount of that. So you've got, what, 20 stamps there. Mark's used 4 stamps out of that collection and 1 stencil. So imagine the amount of different things you can achieve. Let me share with you again then what you are getting in here. I will show you the back as well, because some of these are absolutely massive, these stamps that are within there, and then your smaller embellishing stamps to go with that as well. This one here, lots of different wordings and sentiments within there, and that really lovely big splash that goes over the top of that clock, and of course the stencil included in there for you as well. So loads in that one, which is absolutely brilliant. Do snap that up. Very, very busy on that since that last demonstration. Let me share with you next the spring flowers, because the spring flowers sold out well, I mean, like everything did last time the guys were here. It sold out so fast. Let me share with you some of the things you can do with this, because I think if you do love what I love about this is it's florals, but in a visible image style. So it's really classic designs, but you've then got that visible image edge to it. You know, there's something quite modern and quite fresh about it. And this one I particularly love as well, this card. Some of these very simple, but very, very effective, which is what we want. Really lovely. This next one here as well, I don't know how this has been done, but that is incredible. So much texture within there. Or if you don't, maybe you're not a massive fan of colour, you don't need to add lots of colour to these. If you want to pair it back a little bit, you can see these two just here, even in more neutral colour tones, still very, very impressive. Let me share with you then what you've got. I know a lot of you missed out on this last time we had it here, so today is the date. It's in stock right now. A third has already gone. It doesn't include all of you that have got this in your baskets currently over on the website. So in here you're going to get your Spring Awakening, one of my favourite musicals, that. You've also got Sketch Tulips in there, and you've also then got the Daisy Daisy, which is that really large statement stencil that is going to be so effective when it comes to creating your backgrounds. 1918 or 2782 if you are a platinum member and you want to get your hands on that one. Now another one I've got to share with you. I love this last time, and it sold out so quickly. A fifth of this one has already gone. Just on a little mention this morning is the t-shirt collection. I think if you've got younger members of the family that you want to create projects for, there's something about this that I think you're going to be able to theme up exactly how you wish. Maybe you're going to turn it into more of a football top or jersey. This one, look at that. That is amazing. And again, it's these stamps that you've got in here which are going to allow you to create these, and you can really change it up. I think if you're looking for value for money, this stamp set is definitely going to give you that, because you can create so many different looks and feels just with this one collection. Let me take you through then exactly what you are getting in here. So you've got this one here, which is nothing to wear. That's like me most days. Wardrobe full of clothes. No, I've got absolutely nothing to wear. I definitely need all new clothes for holiday next week because none of these ones are working. You've then got Lost for Words as well. I love this one in here. Sometimes life just sucks. I think that is so funny. And then you've also got in there, You Got This. I love the realism in these words here as well. Then, of course, you've got your textures there too, which is your grunge tones. 28.75, 41.69 gets you all 3 sets of the stamps that are within there. Now we are also going to have another look at something that I have put back, so do bear with me a second. It is the Fearless Tiger set, and again I'll just share with you exactly what you're getting in there. You're getting that really big bold tiger stamp within there, and then you've got the wording Be Fearless and Face Your Fears. And then you've got that big stencil in there too. What I love about it, I'm just going to show you a couple of samples just to show you. Well, I'll show you 3 just to see you so you can see the different feels and finishes that you can get. Look, they are all from the same set of stamps. But how incredibly different do all of those projects look? So no matter what your style of crafting, I think you're going to be able to slot these Visible Image items in there. And again, another great price for you, $11.19, $16.27 as a Platinum member. Mark, this is really cool and quite different, this set, to everything else that you've sort of bought us previously, I feel.
I mean, you know, everyone wants to, you know, you've got Face Your Fears and, you know, I think Be Fearless, they really work. And also it's the Year of the Tiger.
It is the Year of the Tiger.
It is the Year of the Tiger, so it's perfect, you know, and you're getting that stencil free, basically.
Amazing.
So it's no-brainer.
Brilliant, brilliant deal. It really is. What would you like to share with us on this?
Well, next up, okay, now looking at it, this, do you know what I forgot to do? And, you know, I was only tidying up, and guess what I forgot? I showed this, and I didn't put the last element on. No, thank you, everybody. Nobody's told me in the gallery either. They didn't even noticed. So let me just stick that on now.
I was quite happy as it was, I know.
To be honest. You don't have to do this as an extra. I did say that you don't have to do this, but once you put that on, there. So now we've got that in 3 dimensions then. And I think that looks amazing.
Really cool. Really cool.
Should we go have a raw now? Go on to do something with the tiger.
Oh, let's.
Okay, let's put this to one side.
Loads of you loving this. Great on the wall in the crafty corner. Need to save the show so I can replicate it, says Pam. And Beth says, I love anything timepieces or steampunk. Loads and loads of love. Anything you want to say, any questions you've got, get them in. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on YouTube, and I'll pop those questions across to Mark for you.
So this is a big stamp, and because it's a large stamp, I'm going to use the stamping platform. I would recommend using a large stamping platform when you're doing large stamps. It just makes your life easier, that's all. So it's a great tool to use. I know there's lots of different ones on the market, so whichever one you're most comfortable with, so that's what I would say. Again, stamp it, press down, give it a few seconds for that ink to transfer from the stamp to the card. And again, if you're not happy with it the first time, you want a darker image, go back in there. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So go back in with your black.
There's a lot in this stamp, isn't there? Loads of texture already. Just even stamping it out in the black.
And that's the thing. This is one of those stamps that you could make a card very simply, and it make it really cool looking. It's very dramatic, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So let's take that off, and we'll see what we got here. Isn't that beautiful?
Absolutely striking.
Isn't that gorgeous? And again, you know,
whether you can hear it roaring. It's so realistic, Mark.
Well, it could be. But I think Helen come up with the sentiments. You know, leave your fears and be fearless, because they just mean so much to a lot of people. I think, you know, whether you're in college or university or just having a hard time, I think those are the kind of things, those sentiments that mean a lot to a lot of people. So I'm using some clear embossing powder. Sprinkle it over your card.
Becky R, one of our presenters here, Mark, she lives by Chester Zoo. She lives just on the edge of the lion enclosure, believe it or not. She can hear the lions roaring.
Oh, really?
From her bedroom, yes. There you are.
Well, living in Wales, the only thing we hear roaring is sheep. So.
Yeah, I went to Cheshire Zoo and I could hear the lions roaring, and I thought, gosh, why are they playing noises of lions roaring in a zoo? It seems so silly, doesn't it? And then turns out that was the actual lions roaring. I don't know why I'm such a naysayer. I thought they were playing piped lion music, but they weren't. Actual lions roaring. That is so, you can really see how effective that heat embossing is as you're working through it there.
Again,
Amazing.
heating from the bottom gives it that slightly smoother look that you're after. And I think we're done. And that's very good, you know, it's very, you don't have to do an awful lot more to this to make it a very impressive card. I mean, I've got a few samples I want to show you just before I do any more on this.
Absolutely.
That's one of my samples there. Again, just stamped on some card. And I've just used basically a Posca pen for the white, just to highlight some of the white detail. Glossy highlights on the eyes as well. So that looks really cool. Again, this is another one. This one from, oh, Linda. Yeah, so Linda's done another one with one of our stencils. Again, that's gorgeous, isn't it?
Really,
How
really
different
lovely.
each and every one looks.
So different.
The next thing we're going to do is, now, what I've done is I've trimmed that down a little bit, and I've also already I've coloured in the eyes with the Tri-Blend Spectrum Noir pens, and I've already put glossy accents, glossy highlights on them to make it look
Fabulous.
yeah, I think you can see that on the.
Can really see that there, yeah.
Gorgeous. And they're really looking at you. Do you know how many times I had to move those pupils to make them look like they're looking at you?
Eyes are
No
one
matter
of
what, which way you're looking, they look
Yeah.
like they're looking at you.
Eyes are one of those, especially the pupils in eyes are one of those things, aren't they? If they're not right, they're like really not right. You just can't unsee it if the eyes are not correct. But these
No.
are absolutely bang on. They really are.
So I'm going to use the, this is our brand new grassland stencil as well. And this was designed to go with this set. And it's coming absolutely free to you as well. So that's, it's really good. Just take this down a second. And I'm going to just blend through there with a couple of colours. Now, most people we've got lots of samples there where they're using, obviously being called grasslands, it is grass. But you could actually go for it whatever colour, something bright. And that's what I think I'm going to go with today, something a little bit more brighter. So I think I'm going to go with maybe a picked raspberry. And I think we'll go for maybe a broken china. Again, these two colours that I haven't chosen before. And again, this isn't pre-planned, so I'm not even sure how this is going to turn out. So we'll see now.
Sometimes that's when the best things happen, isn't it?
Yes. You just got to go for it, and then hopefully it's going to look amazing. So we're just blending around the outside of this just to highlight those details. Again, you can see through the stencil just for where you want to go as well, so that's nice to do.
Those ink pads that Mark's using as well, there are a selection of those available over on the website, so do go and check out the full range of Tim Holtz ink pads if you want to get your hands on some of those. And this is going to be what I would call it, this is about as clean and simple as I probably go, but it's very effective. You know, sometimes those small things make all the difference. You know, you don't have to be, you know, so much mixed media. People maybe get put off with doing that because it's too hard or too complicated for them. But this is something that most people can actually achieve as well. And, you know, people always say to me, oh, what's the best card you've made? And I say it's the next one, you know, because when you look back on your cards a year from now, they're going to be you're going to go, I can do better than that now. And everyone does get better. So this is one of the things I like about crafting is you do constantly get better. You know, when you look at people and go, oh, I can't do that. But a year from now, you're going to be always a lot better than you were when you started. Yeah, I think it's sometimes you forget how far you've come as well, don't you?
Yes.
Especially when you don't, you know, if you're not keeping a lot of things you're making, if you're, you know, selling them or giving them away. And sometimes every now and then you look back and think, gosh, no, I really have improved a lot. I love the eyes. They dart. I feel like they're piercing right into my soul.
Yeah. So I quite like that. And I'm going to leave it like that because I think I've got a nice mat to go on there as well. There, it's going to stand out. See, and this could be a, I know they do have white tigers, don't they? I think
Yes.
is it a Bengal tiger?
Yeah. I
can't remember what's called.
Siberian tiger is a white one, is it, maybe?
Somebody's going to be Googling it now as we speak.
I used to be obsessed with tigers when I was a kid. Absolutely obsessed with
Yeah,
them.
there's definitely a white tiger. I know there's a snow leopard as well. So, but you know, I don't know where the white Because they don't live in the snow, do they? White tigers.
They can be Bengal or Siberian, the white tigers. Mark, have you watched Tiger King, Mark?
I haven't, no.
Have you not?
Maybe I'm the only person who's never watched it. Is it any good?
Oh my gosh, you need to watch it. Season 1. It's interesting, yes,
Oh,
that's what
okay.
Genius says.
Interesting, what, good interesting or bad interesting?
Good interesting. Yeah, very good interesting.
Okay.
With a little bit of bad interesting in there as well.
All right. Right, so again, I'm going to, see I'm changing my style as well. I'm stamping in Versamark and doing white writing as well, because sometimes that just stands out that little bit more. And I've done something on the inside as well, so you can have a look at that. So just something simple but very effective. So that's the outside of the card. Let me lift that up now.
Amazing, absolutely incredible.
Again,
Mary Pat saying this would be perfect for scrapbooking. Sorry, I'll try that again. Scrapbooking my kiddos' high school pictures. I think would be great. Oh, that's so cool
so
on the inside.
using Be Fearless and using the claw marks from the Cheshire cat set. Do you see how mixing these things up really work?
Really cool. Love the inside there as well. Great value on this, guys. It really is incredible value, because you're going to get the 3 stamps and the stencil together there. $13.99 or $20.34 is your price on that. So you want to be recreating what Mark's done there, you can for that great price. Just over £11 or $16 for Platinum members. Let's go back through the Wonderland collection, because it really is the star of the show today. You guys are absolutely loving it, and especially when you see some of the awesome things that you're going to be creating with this. This first one then here is Alice in Wonderland. You're going to get the stamps and the dies that you need in there. Lots of different elements packed into each one of these stamp sets, which is brilliant. Then you've got the White Rabbit, which is this one just here. Again, quite a simple card design here. You've got the big stamp in the background there as well from the Timeless collection that we showed you earlier. And again, you're going to get the stamps and the dies in that particular one just there. Next up as well, you guys have been loving this one. It is, of course, the Cheshire Cat that's in there. And again, loads going on in each of the stamp sets with the dies then to match those two. The Mad Hatter, he's got a glimmer of cheekiness, doesn't he, in his eye. I feel like he wants to be sort of a bit spooky and scary, but he's just too nice deep down. That's the impression that I'm getting. And again, you've got lots of different wording elements within there, which is going to enable you to create something fabulous. I love, love, love this project that's been done here with this. I think it's so, so cool. I love the glasses as well here that you've got on the caterpillar, and you've got everything else that you need in there. That toadstool is amazing as well. And as Mark said earlier, the toadstool and the caterpillar, they are 2 separate stamps as well. So think about taking that toadstool away and using it elsewhere. Absolutely something you're going to be able to do. We then have Queen of Hearts, which is this one just here, as you can see, a beautiful tag that's been created. But again, really play around with the colorways on that particular one to create something, or multiple stunning projects. This one here is Tweedledum and Tweedledee. And again, you're going to get the stamps and the dies that you need in there. Over a quarter of this has gone. A lot of you with this in your basket. Very, very busy. Now, we also have, to go alongside that, some gorgeous stencils. And you'll really see how these are. I mean, you're going to create gorgeous projects with the stamps and dies on their own. But if you want to elevate that background and have something that is sort of made to go perfectly with the stamps and dies, then this is definitely those. And you can see here how the 2 collections work together so, so beautifully. So definitely think about adding these in. A third of these have gone. Almost everyone that's going for the Wonderland collection is adding these in to their basket. And you've got 3 different designs in here. So you've got the Mad here, Tea Party, and you've also got Dark Hearts within there as well. $11.98 or $17.20 if you want to get your hands on those. A third of those have gone. And I also want to share this with you. Again, it was one of your absolute favourites last time the guys from Visible Image were here. It is your designer T-shirt collection. Such a versatile stamp set, this one, because what you're getting is sort of the outline, if you will, of the T-shirt, which you can see just there, and then the ability to customise that in whatever way you wish. So all your different sentiments in here. Some of these are sort of Really cool. I love that one. Sometimes life just sucks. Yeah, you got this. It's your birthday. Congrats. Miss your face in there, and then textures to go with it. So using the three together, you're going to be able to come up with a lot of different styles of t-shirts, which will make great tags. They will go onto scrapbook projects or card projects beautifully. I think some of the simple ones are amazing. That one, absolutely striking. I love the lips that you've got in here too. And again, really great for those more masculine themes of card that maybe you struggle with sometimes. These are going to take care of that for you. Absolutely love that one. With the tie-dye in there too. 28.75, 41.90, 41.69, sorry, if you want to get your hands on this one. And this is what I believe is your next demo, Mark, is that right?
It certainly is, yes. I will also, just quickly, I've got a few samples here.
Of course.
Just to show you those t-shirts and this collection that I'm using. So this is one I did earlier on. If you missed the show earlier, please rewind and watch that, because that's a really cool sample. Really good with the Cheshire cat, and that was the inside of that. We're all mad here. Who isn't mad? Again, this is one I've done, I think last time I was here possibly. Again, male type themed card there with rock, great for Father's Day or just anybody birthdays or whatever you want. Very similar to that one there. One for the female, so be kind, great smile. I love that. This Dark Heart stencil, fantastic stencil. I'm going to be using this in this next demonstration. I love this, and combining it with the Tweedledum and Tweedledee, genius, I think. I think that's great.
Really cool.
This, again, different. This is using the Tea Party stencil as well. This is from the collection. You can't go wrong. It looks great, doesn't it? It looks like it's just something that you're going to send to somebody, maybe, let's go and grab a coffee or something. I think I love that one. And this one here, obviously using the Mad Here stencil as well. Again, using some of the characters there. Somebody's had a lot of fun with this. And I think it's absolutely
cool
amazing.
one.
It's gorgeous. I think it's texture paste as well there through that. And there's must be oxides background, but that's gorgeous.
Really lovely.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a male themed card, because we're being very colourful, and we're going to go a little bit greyer and a little bit more kind of darker. Now, I've already got a piece of card here. But it's black card. So I've used some of the oxide inks, white oxide ink, and just spritzed it, and I think I've rubbed it with my hand. This is on black card. You can do the same with any other card as well, or use different colours. Now I'm going to stamp the t-shirt onto that. So I will use the VersaFine ink, which is my ink of choice, especially when you're doing the stuff with detailed stamps. It just gives you that crisper print that you want in. So go around it. Now, I think because the stamp is hollow, you see in the centre there is hollow, what you do is you go around the stamp so that you're not dipping down into the centre. Okay. So just be careful. And the reason we did it this way was that it allowed us to get more stamps in. We wanted to give you as many stamps as we possibly could, and we thought that space in the middle was dead space, so we hollowed it out and added more stamps in for you. So I think that was a really good idea. Yes, you could, yeah. Somebody is telling me that yes, you could position a stamp in the middle anyway before you actually stamp it. You could do that.
So stamp it down together. That's a great idea.
The other thing you can do as well is if you're putting maybe this t-shirt on like a washing line or something, you could actually bend the stamp around because it'll bend because it's not solid, and it'll give you like it's blowing in the wind.
Oh,
so that'd be really cool as well. So just press down nicely. It's a large stamp. I'm using the stamping mat. And I'm going old school with a block, but you can use a platform if that's what you wish to use. Lift it off there, and we will emboss that quickly. I'm going to use some clear embossing powder.
A lot of love coming in. Catherine Baker says, hello crafty crew, love the t-shirt stamps. Hubby has a collection of ratty t-shirts that are more holes than fabric. We'll use to make him a memory card of fave tees before I sneak them away to t-shirt heaven.
Ooh.
T-shirt heaven. You know what you could do is you could make a quilt out of the old t-shirts if you wanted to. I've got loads of t-shirts, Mark, that I love but would never wear.
Oh.
So like a t-shirt from Glastonbury 2010, it's about the size of a postage stamp now. It's been through the wash so many times. I'll never wear it, but I don't want to throw it away. It's that quandary, isn't it, when you've got t-shirts that you love?
Or me personally, I've probably put a little bit of weight and I just can't get back into it. So, I've
never
always
throw anything away. I do that. I've got maybe a pair of jeans that I haven't worn for about 8 years that I can't fit in. I keep thinking to myself, one day One day I'll squeeze myself back into those. Probably not going to happen. Susan says, Crafters TV, love the t-shirt collection. I make my own t-shirts with sayings, sometimes snarky sayings. Love that, Susan. And I'm stoked about being able to incorporate that now into my card making.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Really, really cool.
I suppose you can't read out any of those snarky ones.
I don't know, Susan. If they're, well, send them through, Susan, and we'll see if they are appropriate. Let's say.
Okay. So we're on to the next section now. Now, this doesn't come with a die, but to be honest with you, it's a very, very simple shape. So it's just, you've just got to cut it out. And that is what I've actually done. So I've cut out the t-shirt, like so. Again, very similar. And don't waste this section. If you're stamping, don't waste this section, because for my mat for my card, I'm going to use the excess, what was left over.
Oh, cool.
So don't waste it. So I've used that. So we'll put that to one side for a second. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to stamp on here. So I'm going to use some, I'm going to stamp, what word shall I stamp? I've got, okay, I think I'm going to use the skull. I'll use the skull and maybe rock on there as well, I think. Rock and a skull. I think I'll use
Amazing.
that. Okay. So
I bet people have got a lot of small stamps around this sort of size that they can incorporate into these as well. I mean, I know you're getting loads included in there.
yes.
Nice when you get something and it inspires you to get back into some elements of your stash maybe you've not used for a while.
Oh, totally, totally. You know, it's again, this t-shirt set lends itself to using whatever you actually got at hand, and I think that's one of the joys that people are seeing. Whether you've got printed papers or you know, you just want to put numbers on it. Say from the Wonderland set, you know, you could put somebody's favourite numbers on there if it's like a football or rugby or something. So I'm using Versamark here because I want to emboss this in white. So just stamp the word rock, and we'll link up the skull, and we'll do all this in one go. If I can remember where I've stamped everything. Because you can't see with the ink where you're stamping, so you just got to go for it. And hopefully it'll work. Right. So next thing to do, some white embossing powder. Where did I did have white. Aha. Some white embossing powder. It's all gone very it's all gone very quiet.
We're all
now,
holding
so
our breath, aren't
everyone's
we,
thinking about
collectively
it.
here. There we go.
Again, I think it's like one of your faded t-shirts now, but we'll get there. Dodgy embossing powder. Now, what I don't mind doing is, if it is a little bit faded, it looks really cool anyway. It gives it that look of being authentic, I think. So we'll heat that up and we'll see what we get. Yeah, faded. Do you know what? This white, I've already seen that this white embossing powder's got glitter in it as well.
Oh, wow. Do love a bit of glitter.
This is embossing powder
really
gate.
Is. You're going to be weeks now doing demonstrations for weeks and thinking, is this that embossing? Is that what embossing powder is that?
So we have a t-shirt with the word rock on it. I think that looks pretty cool. The next thing I want to do is we're going to use the stencil as well. So I've got a piece of card, which is the right way up. Put that to one side, and that, we don't need that anymore. And I used this is the Dark Heart stencil, and I think this works perfectly because obviously it's got skulls on it, and we can do a nice monochromatic kind of colour to it. Where's my black ink? Aha. Do you know what? When you're looking for your favourite colour and you never can find it.
It's always the one you're looking for.
Oh yeah, totally. Let me just see.
No problem.
Did I leave it?
The details on your screen there is for the 3 stencils. And remember the stencils that you're getting in that particular collection, they go perfectly with the Wonderland, but also with lots of other elements. So you've got the Mad here, you've also got Tea Party in that particular one, and the one that Mark is using there, which is the Dark Heart. So 1198, 1720. If you want to get your hands on those ones just there. Remember as well, Mark Visible Image will be up with us again in our later block of shows as well. So you've got another whole hour of inspiration to come today. So make sure you join Mark and myself for that a little bit later.
That's lucky you or unlucky you, whichever way you want to.
Oh, absolutely lucky me. Make no mistakes about that.
So again, just for a kind of weighting and a little bit of balance is that I'm not going just around in a circle. You could, but I'm just going to maybe a left to right kind of weighting on there, just to give it some shape and balance to your card. when you're happy. Do you know, a little bit more, I think.
Don't forget as well, another hour of softer side, well, just under an hour's worth of softer side coming up in the next few minutes or so. And then myself and Lily are here with the masterclass a little later today. All things Create Card, of course, featuring yet more visible image for you. So it's going to be a fun day. We're going to guide you into the weekend in style.
So this is, let's stick this onto here. Now you see how using this, not wasting your card, pays dividends. It just goes then with the t-shirt. So stick it, so once I get it central anyway. Right, okay. And we'll use some 3D gel glue.
Again, a very effective but fairly straightforward card here, Mark.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing too complicated, but it's the effects and the ideas that these cards you're going to go, oh wow, I like that. And it's something modern. It's not, you know, there's a lot of traditional card making there. It's just that I like to do the things that I like to do. Yeah, I just love it. Oh, but you know what as well? Last time we brought on the alcohol in the drinks.
Yes.
So I forgot to say that I used one of the t-shirts there. I could have easily created, do you see that? I've used the splashes from the alcohol to create a really cool, funky, maybe teenager card.
That's cool.
Doesn't that look cool as well?
Yeah, really
But we're not
cool.
using that today. But it looks very modern. So let's get back to this one. We'll stamp that onto there.
Really cool.
And do you know, I think maybe use just maybe a little grey pen, maybe. Just highlight some of those details there. We can go over that after with a pen. You just start to add some detail into there, just some shading. I think we'll stop there, but I think
really cool.
that's quite. Oh, and on the inside, I used one of the words from
lovely.
the Lost for Words. It's your birthday, and the star from the same set as well.
Amazing. You're getting lots in there, aren't you? Really
Yes.
are getting loads in there. Let me
just
share
show
with you
that.
then exactly what you're going to get in that particular collection. So you've got your t-shirts there of all your different elements, all of the sentiments, which are going to be great for loads of different projects, and all the textures in there. So, you know, these are going to work brilliantly, these two elements, with your t-shirts, but also excellently away from them too. 28.75, 41.69. What a great card that is. And again, if you're struggling with those more masculine themes, what a great way of doing it. Mark, absolute pleasure to get to spend some time with you again in the studio. You're back with us again in our later show.
Yes, I will. Yeah.
Amazing. Right, I'll see you then.
Thank you.
Let me just quickly take you back through that Wonderland collection, because it's very, very busy on that at the moment. It is the star of the show. Remember what you're getting here. So you're getting your different characters. You're going to get the stamps and dies for all of these. So this one here is, of course, the Alice in Wonderland. You're also going to get the stamps and the dies from the White Rabbit there too. Then you've got that very cheeky looking Cheshire cat in there. Which is this one just here. Again, stamps and dies for all of these, which is excellent. You've got the Mad Hatter, which is this one just here. The caterpillar, there's something about the caterpillar I absolutely love. I think it is so, so playful, which is this one just here. Then, of course, you will get also the Queen of Hearts in there, which is that one there. And you've got Tweedledum and Tweedledee. $119.99, $174.94 is your favourite item in the show. It's saving you over £40, just under $60 there. And then you're able to use your Club Inspired discount on top of that as well, which is brilliant. Any comments or questions you've got, you can get them into me. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. We are going to take a very short break, and then I'll be back with the lovely Becky Sworn on the other side of this.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. will also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Put away your tape measure and fabric scissors. The Threader's fabric cutter offers accuracy and precision with every cut. This handy tool slices through fabric in a guillotine style. Its ergonomic design features a comfortable and protective handle, so it's safe and easy to use whether you're right or left-handed. Its 45mm rotary blade will cut up to 6 layers of fabric at a time, so your sewing, quilting, and upholstery project times are cut down to size. It's equipped with a measuring guide in metric and imperial for a perfectly accurate cut every time. The built-in grid ruler has 30-degree, 45-degree, and 60-degree angle lines, so you can cut fabric on any angle, including the bias. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash.
Talking about crafty must-haves, Becky's back with me in the studio. How are you, Becky?
Oh, very well, thank you. Very excited to be back.
Very excited
Yep.
to get to work together again.
I know. It's good,
Twice
isn't
in a
it?
week. No, twice in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is
no,
good for us.
I wasn't here last week.
That's what I mean, 2 weeks. As in
Yeah.
the week before last we
Yeah,
worked
okay.
together.
All right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they've kept us apart for weeks, so, you know, I'll take what I can get. I really, really will. Lots of you chatting away still as well. Susan was just telling us about T-shirts that she makes with sort of quips on them. She sent me through a few of them. She says, my favourite one is squats. I thought you said let's do shots. Or exercise. I thought you said extra fries.
Oh, I like that one.
And another one she likes to make is well-behaved women rarely make history.
That's very true, isn't it?
Very, very true. Gilmore saying more visible image items have jumped into their cart. And Rhonda has also said, I made my husband a T-shirt quilt from motorcycle trips and some other memories. We're talking about making quilts out of old T-shirts rather than throwing away. I've got lots of lovely T-shirts which I'll probably never wear because they're just old, from like Glastonbury 12 years ago and stuff like that. And you love them, you don't want to throw them away, you can't be there to party with them. What do you do? Turn them into a quilt.
Yeah, yeah, and there's loads of information online to show you how to do those. They're really, really easy to do. And then it's got a bit of a story to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like you say, you might never wear them, they've got ruined or got holes in, but you know, you've got that sort of image that's at the front of your T-shirt you can sort of keep with you. It's a good idea.
Maybe I should have a go. It'd probably be wonky if I did it. I've got to tell you about loads of it. There's lots happening at the moment. There's a spring sale happening over on the website. Make sure you don't miss out on that because you're getting up to 70% off of those items over on the website up until the end of Monday as well, which is excellent. It is also National Craft Month. And you've got a 3 for 2 on selected Spectrum Noir accessories until the end of Sunday. So you've got all weekend to avail of that, which is lovely. So make sure you go and check that out over on the website. Also, Totally Tiffany, hello, 19th birthday as well. Double points on everything, Totally Tiffany. And there's a new launch tomorrow, and there is a 2-hour craft house show with myself and Tiffany tomorrow night. Tiffany Boom Spalding will be back in the studio with us. So make sure you join us both for that. That's going to be lots and lots of fun. Want to tell you also about our sewing deal of the week, which is this. It is a really lovely collection. You've got the Threaders Junior Shape Creator within here, which is fantastic, which is this one, as you can see just there. Great for making a whole host of different shapes. You've got the A2 folding mat here as well. And you're not going to pay for this. $21.99 or $29.95 this should cost you. That's how the value. You're getting that totally free of charge when you get it in this particular configuration. And you can use your Club Inspired discount, of course, on that as well, which is brilliant. So that's a great deal. I also need to tell you about the fabric of the week too. These are amazing. Now, if you... plains, I'm guessing, Becky, are just like an absolute essential when it comes to sort of your stash of fabrics that you might want.
They are, because there's so much you could do with these. If you were just going to go for a very simple item and you're just going to quilt it, you get a better effect by having something that doesn't have a pattern on it. But these are going to mix and match with all of those patterned fabrics you've got in your stash. They're going to match with the patterned fabrics that we've had on previous shows. So if you had any of those sort of Easter fabrics we had last week, those little pretty pinks and lilacs, they're all going to work really well. So they also work brilliantly with the So Boho fabrics that we've got as well, so those sort of bright oranges, sort of turquoisey colours. But yeah, having sort of plain colours are really sort of fundamental to having your stash, because you're always going to need them. Really and they are beautiful, they're really good quality, they wash well, they iron beautifully, and you've got an absolute myriad of different colours there, haven't you? Yeah, really good stash builder this. Consider multi-ordering on these. Lots of you are going for these. They are all, of course, by the half metre, and the great thing, I love that. That black is such a true black. All by the half metre. Remember, if you're ordering multiples of the fabrics, we will cut them for you in the size you order. So you can order up to 8 metres and get one single piece, which is wonderful if you are doing larger projects as well. So make sure you grab that. Now, do you fancy a brand new launch? Yeah, of course you do. And these are utterly fabulous, because it is a kit that includes everything you need to make awesome projects. And I love that they're so functional. These, you're going to be able to make these and give these. So you've got different designs in here. Look at how sassy that butterfly is. What a sassy schmetterling that one is. And it's quite big as well, isn't it? It's not, they're not small, tiny key rings. You've got quite sort of a big, it's almost the size of your hand, that sort of butterfly, isn't it? I've got big hands, Becky. Yeah, I heard. And that polar bear, that looks like, do you remember the Fox's Glacier Mints? And they had a polar bear. That's what that looks like to me. That's absolutely. And the fox, I love. The fox, he's got a bit of a sort of Mexican vibe to it. That's exactly. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, totally. Yeah, I really agree with that. And great for you know, all sorts of different things. I think that's fantastic for autumn. But I mean, that bunny for Easter, how lovely is that? That on a chocolate Easter egg. I'm right in thinking we get everything we need included in there, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah. I think as well, these would make great mobiles if you wanted to make these and hang these on a little mobile for a baby. Yeah. It would be fantastic. Or just take the pieces and just use the pieces as patchwork if you wanted to, couldn't you? You know, just actually maybe just hand sew those onto, you know, as little applique. Applique, that's the word. Thank you, Becky. As little appliques onto that's a great idea. Bags, or a cushion cover or something like that. 4 really cool ones in there. I was asking you before as well, and you know, we were saying a hand sewing project. Definitely something someone could have a go at as a beginner. You think these a great first project maybe for someone that's looking to get into sewing? Yeah, definitely. They're really good because you've got everything contained in them. You've got all of the embroidery thread. You've got the stuffing. You've even got the needle in there, so everything's contained. And with this kind of project work, with sort of hand embroidery, it's not a fast thing. You're not going to create something super quickly. It's a sort of a nice sort of activity to do. It's going to take you a little bit of time that you're really going to have the opportunity to enjoy. So I think these are really great if you're going to be travelling. I travel up here on the train and I always need something to do. So these are ideal for me because I could just do a little bit of stitching, put something together while I'm travelling or going away, you know, on a plane. They're a great activity to do. Yeah, really fun. Stack them up, and also £25. That gets you all of them.
So brilliant, brilliant value as well. £20 or $25.56 if you are a platinum member. If you've got any questions about these, get them into me and I'll pop them across to Becky for you. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are over on YouTube. And I'll pop them across. If you want to place an order, it's really fast, easy and simple to do so. Head on over to the website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. On the home screen, you'll see a big button that says Shop the Show. Hit that and it will show you all the things that we've got, including this brand new launch as well. But I believe Becky's going to take us through how we put them together.
Yeah, very simple. If you look at these, they're quite full of stuffing. You get plenty of stuffing in each of the packs. You also get too much sort of embroidery thread. So we've given you plenty in order that you're not sort of scrimping. You can make these as overly embellished as you may like to do. So they're very, very simple to put together. And as I say, everything is contained within your little box. So you'll get your die cut pieces. So this is the rabbit. So he's minus his ears because those are separate pieces. But what you would do is you would take your template and you would just place that over the top of your bunny rabbit, or is it a hare? Can't tell the difference. Hares have got very long ears. Maybe this is a hare. So I'm using a heat erasable pen, and I'm just going to mark the various sort of areas I'm going to embroider using my heat erasable pen. Now, obviously, I'm not doing that where the bunny tail is or where the ears are. I'm just going to do these pieces first of all. And you can make this as sort of overly embroidered as you want to. You could just choose to use one or two of the colours. If you see this one here, they've not totally followed the same pattern. They've got slightly different things, and they've done everything in white in this particular sample here. And rather than embroidering the eye, they've actually cut a little bit of felt out to make a little eye. So there's lots of different options for you to do.
I guess you could just go freehand if you wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and there's nothing to stop you from using these templates and using them with other pieces of felt. You can easily use this as a template to cover around the outside, and then potentially sort of embroider on other felts in different colours. I mean, this would look really good in lots of different colours, different coloured rabbits for Easter, maybe, or, like you said, I like that idea of a mobile for a child. But obviously with a mobile, because you've got lots of little pieces of thread, and gems, you do need to make sure that you are being really careful and making sure it keeps out of the way of the child. So what I've done here is I've already taken my piece of embroidery thread. So when I spoke earlier on today, I was talking about how we use embroidery thread. So we've got plenty here. Now, the key thing to do, embroidery thread is made out of 6 strands. And generally speaking, when you do embroidery, you use 2 strands in there, so you've got to sort of separate them out. Sometimes they may ask you to use 3, but you never use, or hardly ever use 6. Now, the best thing to do is to measure your piece of thread. It shouldn't be any longer than from the tip of your fingers to your elbow.
Okay.
Otherwise, it tends to get a little bit tangled up. So we just cut off there, and as you can see, we've got plenty. We've got twice as much as that. And then you would just sort of twirl the thread a little so it separates out into the strands, and you would find your 2 strands and then pull them apart, so you're separating that from your thread. So you can see by that example, that's all the rest of the thread there, so you've got loads to work on. So that's what you would start off with. Now, what I don't tend to pull to tie a knot in my embroidery thread, especially with felts, because felt's quite unforgiving when you stitch it. It's what makes it nice and easy, because it's quite a sort of open fabric. Obviously you can probably see through here the little lines, and that's the nature of the felt, how it's being produced. So I don't put a knot in it because it might pull through. So what I would do is I would start by stitching, and I just leave a little tail here. So just like that, so you've got a little tail, and then I put my finger over that to secure it, and then I would stitch back and forth along that line, and I just let that little piece of stitching that I've done be either tucked in underneath all my other stitching, or I would sort of tie it in a sort of loose knot. You can turn it over this way and then tie a little knot between those 2 pieces. Okay. But at the moment, I'm just going to tuck it in, because if you're going to be using this, they're not going to get handled too much, these kind of shapes, these little animals. So you don't have to worry too much about things sort of coming loose, because you're going to stitch it all together and you're also going to stuff it. So I'm just doing a little bit of a running stitch through here. Now, one of the great things I like about this is you will get a little booklet, a little guide that shows you how to put the items together, how to put the animals together, but it also gives you details of the embroidery stitches that you could use. So if I get that out to show you, and you can see the type of thing that I'm sort of talking about. So this is your little booklet here.
Oh, perfect.
And on the back, it shows you all sorts of different stitches. So when we talk about straight stitches, that's what I'm doing at the moment. So I'm sort of going up and down to do stitches. You can do a back stitch, which is effectively the same, but you're sort of going ahead of yourself and then you're stitching behind again. If that makes any sense, I can show you how to do that in a little bit. And then when we're finishing off with these little things, we often use a blanket stitch to go around the outside, or you can use a straight stitch. So there are all sorts of different things about how you can sort of embellish them, how to do the different kind of stitches like chain stitches and lazy daisy stitches, all sorts of different options. Now if we look at this particular one here, around the outside, you can probably see this is blanket stitch around this outside. And this is sort of quite a traditional kind of shape, kind of stitching that you would do for items like this, or even around a plique, because it just finishes off that edge nice and smartly. Most of the stitching over here has just been simple blanket straight stitches. It hasn't been anything sort of too complicated, but you can, you could really go to town, and you almost use these as a sampler for all the kind of stitches. Like a Victorian sampler would have had lots of different kinds of stitches to sort of show what a great needle person you were. You could almost use these little sort of animals to sort of showcase all your different stitch techniques.
And lovely to get something that's going to teach you a new skill as well, because once you've picked up the basics of embroidery, like other things like knitting or crochet, I'd imagine, it's a skill that you've got then. You can very easily start adding that to other projects.
Is. And stitching on felt is very simple as well. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter, because you can then sort of stitch back over it and give the felt a bit of a rub, and you can hide that little needle mark you've got there. Now the stitching here, these are lazy daisy stitches, and these are slightly different. So you almost look like you've got a little petal here. And again, they're quite a traditional sort of embroidery that you would use, or embroidery stitch you would see. But you can see how effective that looks down there. It almost looks like kind of a feather effect or a fern that you've got going along there. So you're absolutely right. It's great for giving you a new skill and showing you how to put something together. So I'm going to carry on stitching just down here. And this is just running stitch or straight stitch that I'm doing here. If I was going to show you how to do a back stitch, again, it gives the same kind of look to it, but we would come up like this and go down, and then I'm going to just move my needle forward like so. And then what we would do with back stitches, we don't have a little gap. So we've got no stitch here, but we're going to meet that where the last stitch was, and then we're going to go forward again. And this is back stitch. So this makes more of a continuous line going across, whereas the straight stitch always has a little gap in between it. So you can see all the different effects that you can do. So once you've finished embroidering your animal, now some of the animals, not animals as I just called them.
Animals?
My
brother used to call
like a small
them
child.
As a kid.
Some of the animals sort of lend themselves to be embroidered on both sides. You can absolutely do that. Some of them, like the fox, you only get sort of one piece of the sort of tail and the face to it, so you wouldn't do any embroidery or anything on the back. But for the butterflies, I think you've got a butterfly over there that's been embroidered on both front and back. And if you look at this rabbit here, it's been embroidered on both sides as well. So what you would do is you carry on embroidering your front piece or your back piece, if that's what you were going to be doing. And then once you've finished it, you would then start stitching around the outside. So I've just done running stitch around the outside here rather than the blanket stitch, and that's to secure it together to make this little sort of kind of pocket, little pouch. And then you'll get your this little kind of, I think it's made of acrylic, or I think often these kind of things are made from recycled bottles, plastic bottles, these kind of things. Yeah, you often get that kind of filler. And you just need to put little pieces through this little gap. So I've sewn most of the way around. I've left this little part free, and I'm just going to put these little pieces inside to stuff it. Now what you don't want to do is overstuff it, because if you put too much in one go, you'll find that you can't, if I do it for this example, I've overstuffed this one. When you come to stitch around it, it becomes quite difficult to hold it all together. So you don't want to overstuff it. But once you've got the stuffing the way you want it, you carry on and stitch around the outside, and then you've finished your little animal. Of course, you need to make sure you put your ribbon inside there just to secure it. But yeah, it's a lovely little activity for you to do. And having that sort of offer that we've got with the 4 different designs in there is such good value. You're getting everything, and you're getting too much. We're giving you too many beads and too much embroidery threads, so you're going to be able to make extra after you've made the ones that are inside this pack.
Brilliant, and a great price for you as well, especially maybe if you were looking for a project to try, maybe a first needlecraft project. I think it's making an excellent one at the same time. If you're an experienced needlecrafter, you're going to love these as well. Let me just take you through again then what you're getting in here. I mean, we've all got favourites. The butterfly, definitely my favourite, but you're going to get all of them included. So you've got the butterfly, which is that one just there. You will also get the fox included. So they're a really good substantial size, these as well. You've got the bear and the bunny as well. Oh, what got me bunnies in a tangle. There you are. You've also got the bunny in there too. All 4 designs for you, which I think is wonderful, and a great price too. So definitely snap those up. And they are brand new today for you as well, which is wonderful. We've got the Bab of the Week, as I like to call it, your builder block of the week. And it's a really functional one this week. It is, of course, your alphabet, which is great, and your numbers as well. So alphabet and numbers, brilliant for personalisation, which we all know. From 6-inch blocks up to 12, so you can make a 6-inch, 6, an 8, a 9, a 10, or a 12-inch block using these, which is wonderful. So think about smaller projects right up to full-on quilt sizes. And also, the other great thing, before you even think about your Club Inspire discount, it's already half price, which is excellent. That means Platinum members, you're looking at under £28 or $36. Which is awesome. Full instructions included in there as well. Loads of video tutorials available for that over on our website as always. We also have some awesome bags available for you on the show today as well. And what I love about these is it makes different size bags as well. So you've got your box style bag and you've got a small, medium and the large in there. The same again for your perfect pouches, and then also your wash bag as well. The wash bag wonders. Love those, and again in 3 different sizes there. 71.95, 83.85. Make sure you're using your Club Inspire discount. When it comes to Club Inspire as well, make sure when you go over to the website you're logged in, because if you're logged in, the price you see is the price you pay. It will take all of the discounts into consideration. Thank you. I'm having a bit of a brain fart there. I'm having a bit of a struggle with the words today. Do you know? Oh,
don't you think?
Shaped chocolate, specifically. Shaped chocolate.
We had this conversation last night.
This is so funny. We didn't. We had it today because I wasn't here last night. Yeah.
Brains mush. I love Easter because I like shaped chocolate. I like chocolate in a shape, like an egg or a rabbit or something like that. And Easter is pretty much the only time. I mean, okay, you can occasionally get those sort of Santa shapes, but generally speaking, Easter is time for chocolate in a shape. And I love chocolate in a shape. And so it tastes
I love
so
chocolate
much
in a shape, I do.
than an ordinary piece of chocolate.
Yeah, but in a shape. So have you been to Bruges?
No.
Oh, you can get any shaped chocolate you can imagine in Bruges.
Okay.
Any shape. Absolutely any shape you can imagine. A lot of you very excited. Rhonda's haven't embroidered in years. Susan says about the embroidery as well, they take one strand and then they double it over and then they go through at the end to secure the thread.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Really, really good idea. What's going on with my hair today? Not quite sure. Right, I know Becky's got more inspiration for us. What are we going to look at next, Becky?
I thought I'd make one of the pouches. We had these pouches on, I think we launched them a few weeks ago, and they've been so popular because they're so great, having these different shapes, different sizes. You can make a whole set in one go because you're going to get, in each pack, you'll get 3 different size dies for making the base of the shape, and you'll also get 1 or 2 different size dies for the pockets. So you can see how these look. So these ones are the kind of dies where you would fold your fabric in half and then pop it through your die cutting machine with the fold here and here, so you get that full size piece of fabric. Now what I've done is I've already pre-cut them, and I've used some of our plain fabric, but I've also used some of our So Boho fabric as well. This is my lining, this one here, and this is the outside of the bag. And I just thought it would be quite nice to have that sort of bright, those two colours on the outside of the bag. So this is the, can't remember the colour of this one, but this is one of the blues, and this is the Ditzy Marigold So Boho fabric. So they've already been pre-cut.
Or as Johnny calls it, Saw Boho.
Saw Boho.
Saw Boho.
I love the way he says that. So we've already
Apparently
cut.
I sound more Jamaican than
I
from the
didn't-
north.
I didn't like to
Saw Boho.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't worry. You can take me out of the box. I'm done.
So I've already cut 2 of the pieces of the lining and 2 of the outside. Now, out of all of these pouches, these multimedia bag dies, the perfect pouch is probably the easiest one to start with, because it is just sort of 2 pieces together. So if you're just going to get started on doing them, that is a bit of the first one to start with. Now, what I've got done here is I've taken my outside piece, then I've taken my zip, and I've already put little tabs on either side with different fabric, and then I've put my my lining piece here. So I'm going to have my zip facing down over here, and I'm going to have my lining fabric facing down, and then I'm just going to clip these together, and then I'm going to sew them using my zipper foot on the machine to make this little bag. But I thought these bags were so good. Wouldn't that be nice to have one of these bags filled with shaped chocolate? Someone buying me one.
Say that again.
Filled with shaped chocolate.
Filled with shaped chocolate,
Yeah.
yes.
Like chocolate eggs or something like that.
I didn't get an Easter egg last year. I'm going to buy myself one this year.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. I haven't had an advent calendar for about 5 years either.
Oh.
I bet advent calendars are like your favourite thing in the world. 24 mini-shaped chocolates, one a day.
I don't get them anymore. No one
you
buys
not?
me one.
Oh.
I've said to my mum, I think it's really rude that she buys one for my children and she doesn't buy one for me.
Oh.
And she has started buying them for me. But I quite like those ones with beauty products in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like those ones.
Some advent calendars are like hundreds and hundreds. There's a particular sort of small department store in central London, just off Oxford Street. Theirs, or Regent Street, theirs is hundreds of pounds, their advent calendar. Hundreds of pounds.
Is that the Liberty one?
Yes, I was trying not to say the brand, Becky, but
Sorry.
yes, Liberty's one.
I had that one.
Did you?
I did have that one.
Lucky girl.
But I had it as a gift. I had it as a Christmas gift, and it was really good. But I didn't want it every year because some of the products are the same. But it is a really good way of trying out beauty products and not having to pay, buy a full price one or full size one.
Very
So I thought
fancy.
that was quite useful. And that actually I did find quite a few items products that I now use. So
Nice.
it's definitely, I thought it was worth it. But it was worth
Someone
it
had
because I
obviously
didn't
been
pay for
a
it.
very good girl that year.
Every year.
Rachel, our social media superstar, says, Becky's so funny. She is, isn't she? I think this is about the shaped chocolate. I think you've really sort of started something in the comments
I
about the
can't
shaped
be the only
chocolate.
one, oops, that likes shaped chocolate. I just can't be.
I'm just any chocolate, me.
Really?
I've been so good at not having any chocolate recently, and then last night I had a bar of chocolate, and I've got to say, I found it really disappointing.
Oh.
I ate it, and I was like, I think the disappointment came in the fact that I'd maybe had run out of it. I'd eaten it, and that was what was disappointing. Maybe that was it.
I can imagine that be the case. Yeah. It's,
Why do people get scared of zips, Becky?
because it is quite a scary thing. Because you are always
Zips?
it can be quite a scary thing to do. Make sure you put a zip foot on your machine. My mum has never used a zipper foot, and she's made some fantastic sort of suits and all sorts of different things. But she never changes it. She just fiddles around and moves her machine around. I don't quite know how she does it. So, but just putting a zipper foot makes a whole host of difference. I think just so slowly, and I tend to use nylon zips rather than metal zips, just to stop me from accidentally stitching over the metal zip. But they're not not too scary. Now these are using the zips on a roll that we have, which I think are really good because you can have them at any kind of size that you may want or need. So that makes a big difference as well. But don't be scared of zips. It's all right, it's okay. So what I would do here normally is I'd stitch across this line here just to sort of secure it all down. But what I would want to do is give it a quick iron. And I've forgotten to switch my iron on, which is a little bit silly. But I'm just going to finger press this, and that should be enough. And then I'll stitch around here. Let's not worry about that. There we go. So I'm just going to stitch down here.
Why is it so important to iron, Becky?
Well, Becky, why have you forgotten to do something that's really fundamental?
Well, I'm just wondering, because you're like, I did not frame it like that. Shots fired. You just said it's important you do. Why is it important you do?
Because, shall I just switch the iron on so I can show you? It's so you'd get a nice finish to the items that you're doing.
You've got a very dirty bottom on the iron.
Let's turn it that way so no one can see. It's just, it makes everything fit the way it should do. So you should always iron everything you've got. Sorry,
you're all right, Della. Do you need to get an electrician? Are you all right? What's going on over there? You okay?
It's a long way down on the floor. It's a long way down. And it will, having everything, particularly where you've got your zip, you want to make sure that the fabric doesn't sort of move and get caught into the teeth of the zip. So by giving it an iron and then stitching around the outside, that's just going to mean that it sort of all stays out of the way.
Is that why sometimes when you buy, let's say, not the best quality garment and the zip keeps getting stuck on the backing fabric behind, is that because it's not stitched down properly?
Potentially, or it's not a very good quality zip.
Because there's nothing more annoying, is there, than getting a zip halfway that gets stuck?
I think you're supposed to use candle wax on it.
Candle wax?
Yeah, so if you've...
Where do you put the wax?
You just rub it on the teeth of the...
On the
teeth of the zip.
Right.
And it allows it to go through. So, you know, if you've... Perhaps when you go out and you think, oh, maybe my zip's going to go wrong. You know, like when you're...
So, just best thing is just take a candle everywhere you go. And then if your zip gets stuck, you just give it a rub.
Well, were you a scout? Were you a cub or a scout when you were younger?
No, neither.
So I was a girl guide, and they always said you should be prepared. And they used to tell you to put a button in your bag in case your suspenders broke. This was a long time ago. And you should put a safety pin in case your knicker elastic went. And so you'd always have those in your pocket. And you used to have like a little pouch at Brownies or Guides, and they check that you had these things in your little pouch to make sure you had those.
There you are. How very strange.
So maybe a candle should be the thing
a candle should also be one of those things.
So
Susan says, love shaped chocolate, especially bunnies. I eat it from the bottom up, leaving the ears for last.
Oh, because that's where the chocolate's the thickest.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I would do as well.
Pam E says, yes, these bags are fantastic. I really need to get my sewing machine back downstairs so I can sew again. Just need to find the space. A lot of people, I'd imagine, doing some spring cleaning at the moment and tidying. It's the time, isn't it, for all of that? I have got to give it a go because, honestly, my boiler cupboard, you can't even get in it. I can barely get to the washing machine now. It's so full of stuff. And what I did is I had people stay on Saturday night a lot earlier this week. So I took all of the clutter from the 2-bedroom flat and put it into my bedroom. So now I've got like stuff stacked up in the corner of my bedroom, and I can't get into the boiler cupboard because it is also so full of stuff. I really need to declutter.
That doesn't sound very good, does it?
It's not very good.
It's not
very good at all.
No. So I'm now going to do the other side. Is that the right way around? Let me check this that way around. Like that. So I'm going to sew this all together. So that should be that way. I've done this a couple of times when I've sewn them around the wrong way. No, I think it's going to be that way. So I'm going to sew around the edge of this, this zip over here, and that will finish off the main part of my bag.
Amazing. Imagine what's happening. Remember what was happening. You don't have to imagine what's happening later today. I'm about to tell you. to tell you. Remember what's happening later today is what I should say. A fantastic masterclass with myself and Lily. The lovely Lily will be back with us here in the studio as well. That'll be featuring another hour of visible image as well. And then tomorrow I will be up with my TV wife. Debbie Fisher will be here with us for Play Your Crafts Right. And that will be followed by a brand new launch day with Sharon Callis will be joining us via the means of the internet, and Debbie will be here with us as well. A new launch and some best ever pricing there as well. And then also we have that amazing Totally Tiffany 19th birthday show with a brand new launch happening tomorrow evening as well. It's going to be a really fun Saturday for you here on Crafters TV, so make sure you come and join us. Make sure you spend your weekend with us here in style. And then of course Sunday we are going to have more excellent shows for you, culminating of course with, for the US viewers, the HSM preview on Sunday afternoon if you are in the States. So it's going to be a really packed week. End.
Excellent,
Weekend.
you're going to be busy. You're gonna be
Hi, can you
super
tell I've had 6 days off?
And what are you doing next week? Have you got any plans for next week?
Oh yes, I am. I was planning on sunning myself next week in Italy, Becky, but the sun has had other ideas.
Oh no.
It's actually warmer, it's substantially warmer this week in the UK than it is going to be next week on the Amalfi Coast, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's...
So I will be on the beach in the rain, still clutching on ice cream.
You'll still be on the beach?
Still be on the beach, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, it's not going to be... I was expecting, I thought end of March, beginning of April, early mid-20s in Italy, you'd imagine, wouldn't you, in the south of Italy?
Yeah, I would have thought so.
You would have thought so. No, turns out not. 14 degrees all week. Anyway, it'll be lovely, I'm sure.
Just remember, it doesn't matter what the weather's like, you can still eat pizza.
And that's why we're going, let's face it. Susan says, I carry a small sewing kit with safety pins and buttons in it. I've sewn buttons for several people who have lost them at different events that I've been at. Susan's the kind of lady that you need at a party, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly. Sarah Kay says, I had 10 pence for an emergency phone call in my brownie pouch, Becky.
Oh.
Piece of string and a plaster, I think.
Oh. See, I think I don't have like a little well, I do have a little emergency bag in my handbag, but it doesn't have a candle or anything like that.
What does your emergency bag in your hand? Should I be asking a lady what's in her handbag? I think probably not.
No, probably not, but it's mainly chocolate.
Like shaped chocolate.
No, the whole handbag's chocolate. It's mainly chocolate. But you know, you always got to have a few things in your bag because you never know what might go wrong. So what I've done here is I've sewn that all together. So that did work, thank goodness. So this is the outside of your bag, and then this will be the inside with the lining. So you've got your zip there. So I've undone the zip fully, and now I'm going to fold over this part of the bag. So I'm going to fold and put the two outside pieces together and the two lining pieces together, and then I'm going to sew around the outside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew across here, down here and here, but I'm not doing these little sort of corner pieces, and then I'm going to sew up here and leave a gap like this on my lining amount, because I'm going to turn that inside out once we've finished sewing these other pieces. So if I go ahead and sort of pin those together, and then I can stitch that. So this is the easiest and quickest pouch for you to make out, or bag to make out of all of those other bags. So it's quite good. I think these are going to be really brilliant for people when it comes up to sort of birthday presents and Christmas presents for sort of teenagers having sort of their own sort of toiletry bag made. I think it's going to be really, really useful.
Very busy on these. Remember, you've got a great saving there as well. Platinum members, 57.56, 67.08 there. Oh yes, Pam E says, Joe, I forgot to tell you about the American Song Contest, our version of Eurovision. Eurovision season, well and truly upon us, Becky.
You love Eurovision, don't you?
I do. A week on Sunday, I'll be at the London Eurovision Party, which is like a promo tour that all the Eurovision acts go on. So I get to see them all at the Hard Rock Hotel in Hyde Park, or off Hyde Park, which will be fun. But America is getting its own version of the Eurovision this year called the American Song Contest, and it's over several weeks. It started, and Pam Eve says, it started on Monday. I made hubby watch it. I told him you'd be disappointed in us if we didn't watch. Absolutely, I would have been disappointed in you. We can't watch it here in the UK, unfortunately.
Oh, why not?
The only way I can watch it is if I stream it through Swedish TV and listen to it with Swedish commentary. It's the only way I'm going to be able to do it, apparently. Who's your favourite, Pam? I'd love to know. Because in the US version of the Eurovision, they have like really established acts. Michael Bolton will be representing Missouri, I think. Macy Gray is in it. Cisco is taking part as well.
Wow.
And it's being presented by Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg.
And it's the first time they've ever done this?
First time they've ever done it, yeah. It's over like 6 weeks and it culminates in a live final, yeah. So it's kind of it's the same concept as Eurovision, but it's over a slightly longer period of time and runs side by side. There you go. Susan says, I don't carry a candle. It would melt as it feels more like summer than spring here in California. We are supposed to be in the high 80s, 27 degrees Celsius. Maybe I should have been going to California next week instead of, you know,
I think that
Sorrento.
might be a good idea. Maybe is it too late to change?
Probably too late to change, yeah. I think so. Although I haven't actually booked any accommodation yet for next week. And we go on Monday.
I would have thought that'd be sort of fairly fundamental.
Sorry?
I would have thought that was sort of fairly fundamental to do that. Does that
Yeah,
look like
I'm quite chill about it. I mean, there's a lot available online, but yeah, normally I'm the guy that's like quite organised, to be fair. So, yeah, I'm leaving it very late.
Well, maybe you're going to get a fantastic deal.
Maybe I will.
Or maybe you're just going to be sleeping on a street corner
Maybe
somewhere.
just be sleeping on a beach somewhere, yeah.
Okay.
It's only about 9 degrees overnight, so it's going to be chilly if we do end up sleeping on the beach.
That pizza will keep you warm.
Oh, I will be 80% pizza this time next week. Lots of you still chatting away. Rhonda sent in a picture of a T-shirt quilt.
Ooh.
Most likely not time show. Well, I reckon we might have time show. Let's see what gorgeous George with the joystick's able to do in the next. He's got 10 minutes. There we go.
So what I'm going to do here, while you're looking for that, is fiddle around here. I'm going to do my corners.
Okay.
So I'm going to find the corners here, and then I'm going to put those pieces of fabric together, and I'm going to stitch across that, and I'm going to do that with all of those corners, and then that's going to make those sort of little angles that go at the bottom of the bag to help it stand up.
Rachel, our social media superstar, says, don't try and book a beach hut again. Yeah, I don't think you know about that. We were going down to Whitstable for a few days, and I was looking at accommodation on Airbnb and nearly booked a beach hut. I didn't realise it didn't have any power and you couldn't stay in at night. It was just like for the afternoon. So I nearly bought 3 days in a cold beach hut. We didn't book it in the end. In fact, I'll try not to book a beach hut. Thank you for the heads up there, Rachel. We are going to have to do card of the show very shortly, but I don't know what has happened to Mark's brilliant makes from earlier. I'll go and investigate.
So I'm carrying on stitching around here. So I'm just doing these little pieces here. So this is on either side of my sort of turning space I'm going to do on my lining. So again, with the lining, I'm folding these sort of corners in and then stitching across those like so. And then in a moment, I'm going to turn everything the right way round, and hopefully it will all work. So there's always a little bit of a scary thing when you sort of turn your bags around the right way to see if they do work out the way they're supposed to. But I'm sure it'll be fine. But I'm hoping for one of these filled with chocolate. I'm going back to the whole chocolate thing. But this could be, if you chose one of these little pouches, these would be great for your little emergency bag that goes in your handbag, filled with your, you know, when you've got your emergency bag, like we were saying, you know.
Do you have a handbag and then other bags within your handbag?
Yes, absolutely you do.
Oh.
Do
Can't it just all go in the one bag?
No.
Oh.
I've got a bag for, bag for sewing things. In case I'm going to be doing some sewing. I have a bag that's got...
Do you have a bag that goes in a bag in the bag?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, of course. Multiple bags.
Wowzers.
So now I've sewn all the way around the outside. I'm going to pull everything through that little gap in the lining. So obviously you would trim off the little sort of straggly pieces, little bits of cotton thread that we've got there. And then we're going to turn it all through. So this is sort of turning the lining back through the main part of the bag. So if I then, obviously then you'd give it a little bit of a press. You'd pull everything together. But then you've got your little pouch, little zip pouch, with your little sort of stripe of brightly coloured fabric, and then you've got your lining, which again is the same fabric all there, and that's just made with the medium-sized multimedia bag dye, which is the perfect pouches. We've got.
Beautiful, beautiful. I don't know what happened there. Really gorgeous. Love that. Let me share with you then the 3 designs that you've got in this particular one. So you've got the box style bag, which is that one just here. You've then got your pouches there, and you've got the wash bags there too. Full instructions included and video tutorials available across on the website for these as well. So you'll know you've got everything you needed there to make sure you've got a brilliant, brilliant project. Susan says, Joe, I live less than a mile from the beach. I'd take you to Old Tony's for Mai Tais. Oh, yes, please. Old Tony's for Mai Tais. Oh, here we go. Rhonda sent that picture in as well. This is the T-shirt quilt that Rhonda did. Love that. So cool, isn't it? Where does it live, Rhonda? Where does it have pride of place? Come visit any time, Susan says. I think I may take you up on that, Susan. Pam E says, oh, I wish I could watch it, Joe. Wish you could watch it, sorry. Snoop Dogg and Kelly Clarkson were hilarious, even if Kelly made a cringeworthy, awkward mistake live. Give us the gossip, Pam. What was the awkward, cringeworthy mistake? I'm sure it can't be as bad as some of the mistakes I've made over the years here on Crafters TV. Absolutely not. We need to do a demo of the show. I've only got one of Mark's makes, unfortunately, from the earlier show, which makes me sad.
Oh, they're over there. Over here, behind me.
Brilliant. Do you want to? Is it these ones?
Are they those ones?
That one, yes.
I love this one. I think
that
this
one
one's
and
fantastic.
that one.
I'm sure this wasn't made on the show. This was one before.
That wasn't.
But was that one?
Not those ones.
No.
You can play with those ones. There you go.
Love that.
Right, let's go for it then. So, 4 of Mark's. So let's do number 1, which is this one just here. Number 2. Number 3. Or number 4. Or your bag, Becky. Number 5. Come on, it's got to go in. It has to go in, Becky. I'm afraid they're the rules.
I put in my little pouch.
Number 5.
I could put the little fox.
Oh, and put the fox in as well, number 6.
Let me see. I've got to find that. Hold on.
Don't worry.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, number 6. Amazing. Eurovision, a little bit of Eurovision trivia for you. The people that wrote and performed What Does the Fox Say, that well-known song, are the same people that are performing for Norway this year as well.
Oh.
With Give That Wolf a Banana Before He Eats Your Grandma. That's what the song's called. I'll play it to you later.
There's some very odd songs, aren't there? There was one that we were dancing to a couple of weeks ago, and actually it was quite. I've now listened to that quite a lot at home.
Which one?
Is it the one about salad?
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's quite. I enjoyed that.
We can't see it. It's got a lot of rude words in it.
Yeah.
Right. Don't forget also about your builder block of the week. Get the votes in on that card of the show. But this is a brilliant half-price deal for you, and of course you're going to be able to use your Club Inspire discount on top of that as well. $34.99 or $44.97, under £28 or $36 for Platinum members. Really super affordable. 6, 8, 9, 10. Or 12-inch blocks you're able to create using that as well. So a really, really fantastic set of dies there. And quite easy to use, would you say, this builder block system?
They are. Now, these are different. We've had the alphabet dies before, which work on a kind of a plique version, but these have given you a lot more flexibility. So if you're going to be using, obviously with this one, we've just been using sort of Roman letters, but if you want to be using sort of Greek letters, for example, or a different kind of alphabet, you can quite easily do that with those shapes. It really does make a difference. It makes it nice and easy for you to be able to create anything with these shapes, and you suddenly realise how simple lettering is, because it is just rectangles, squares and triangles.
Absolutely is. Well, demo of the show, number 6, the fox.
Oh!
There you go, see?
Wow!
Don't doubt yourself.
I'd like a star on the wall.
Okay, well you don't get that
I'm
unless
not-
you win the, you need to
No.
win demo of the day and demo of the week first.
No, I found the stars. I thought I could just stick them on.
Just stick one on, have you got your
No one
name
was
up
gonna
there?
know.
Your name's up there, just stick one on. Sarah just puts them on when she likes and I have to go and then take them down afterwards and she gets really upset with me. But that's just the way it is. Would you like to show us your fox?
I don't know what I've done with it now. There it is.
There it is.
There
That's
it is.
our project of the day. I'm going to come and take your fox from you and put it on the shelf over here.
Okay, you can have my fox.
It's very tactile, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all quite nice. They're nice and squishy.
It's going onto the cabinet of creativity and it will be included
Very
then
exciting.
In the card of the day. Becky, when are you back for us? Next Friday?
Yep, next Friday.
Should we do it again? I
Yep.
won't be here, I'm afraid. I'll be on the beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's April Fool's Day next Friday, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Of
so
course
I have
it
to-
is.
Have to look out for some pranks going
You'll
on.
be here with George. He's a bit of a prankster, so who knows? Maybe he will try and stitch you up.
Oh,
Hey, that was good. Come on, that was good. Was that good or not?
that was terrible.
They weren't listening in the gallery. That's why George was like, yeah, that was good. I said it's April. I'm going to do it again for the benefit of the gallery. Becky said it's April Fool's Day next week, and I said, careful, George is here, he's a bit of a prankster. He might stitch you up. Yeah, you get it now. Oh. Right, Becky, a pleasure as always spending some time with you. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Remember as well, myself and Lily will be up in about an hour's time, and we will have, of course, an hour again of visible image within there too, which is amazing. All about the creator cards, which is a fantastic concept when it comes to dice. So make sure you join us both for that. If I'm not going to see you for that show in an hour's time, make sure you're coming back to join me tomorrow. Loads of great shows for you. Play your crafts right, a brand new launch, that Totally Tiffany birthday special too, and also all the way through, leading up to Sunday evening when we're going to have that HSM preview. But hopefully, I'll see you back here in 1 hour's time. Take care, bye.